that evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. And if I get stuff to wherever it goes, it's time for Survival Saturday. And tonight's topic is dun dun dun. After the power grid collapses, what are your plans now? How's everybody doing out there? Well, first off, let me jump over here I got more people rolling in here, so let me go over here and say hi to everybody. And beforehand, anyone's joining and watching this after the live stream, like, the next day or the next week or so, yeah, we run all the stuff beforehand because YouTube sometimes like to throw up a bunch of ads, and I don't want to have them throwing up over the actual live stream. Okay, so coming up here, first one in today was Walt Rogers, then Phelan Clan Wolf, then Dear Love Survival from the United Kingdom, London specifically. Prepper for the Ages is here. Troop 1351's in the house. Mark at Mad Chick Acres is here. CB at Hugo Homestead's in the house. Geeky Gardens is here from Florida. Aiden is here. Oh, he got some really strange pirate thing or some sort of rope for birds. Not quite sure. Yeah, well, he got an ad. Diana 2 is here. Everybody's talking now. All right. So for tonight's topic, I'm going to run some preliminary stuff for you guys. It's called ground rules. Whenever doing tabletops, we're going to talk about specific things and how it's going to affect the rest of the stuff going on tonight, and then we'll move on into events and everything else on it. And David Knight is here. Welcome. So let's let me get some water here. Everybody, hydrate. I don't care if it's wintertime. Hydrate. Yeah. All righty. So let's take this up to bigger. All right. So after the power grid collapses. So this is what's the word I'm looking for? It begins with P, but basically it's predicated, there we go, on the fact that the power grid is going to collapse. And so when it collapses, what are your plans? Let's look at some of the things that could influence your plans and everything else. Come on, let's go. There it goes. Warning, warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson. Possible danger, fantasy, fear porn, Kool-Aid drinking zone ahead. Oh no. But then again, maybe not. All right, so causes for the power grid to collapse. I'm sorry, just caught Mark's comment. I'm hydrating by the fire. It's mostly water, I promise. Yeah, mostly water. It's muddy water, that caffeinated stuff. All right, so what are some of the things that would cause the power grid to collapse? So basically, there are three categories that I came up with. Same three I used at Homeland Security. Man-made on purpose, man-made neglect, and nature caused. So man-made on purpose. Took by V, how's it going? And he's out, and Took by V is firing off with the sarcasm. Yeah, it's absolutely robust and perfectly maintained. Happy Max in the house too. All right. So man-made on purpose. There's several things that can contribute to this, including some serious malfeasance by Captain Crazy when he was in charge. So on purpose, disgruntled employees. Oh, I'm mad, blah, blah, blah. My supervisor pulls the lever and down it goes. Actually, let me shift over here. And Utah Mike's in the house. All right. And so you can have an upset employee that goes and causes, the power grid to go down in your area. However, that upset power employee, when he pulls the power, doesn't pros that it causes a cascade effect, similar to what happened. I'm trying to remember the year. Back in the 1980s, 1970s, when the Eastern United States, when they made a movie about the blackout. Where were you when the lights went out? I believe is the name of the movie. And it caused that actual event blackout that they made the movie about was a breaker at a substation when and fused and did something wrong and caused an overload surge, and it tripped another substation, tripped the main station, and just caused the domino effect of back surge energy because at the time when all the power was being drawn at night, to keep all of New York lit, and all the stuff just suddenly pushed back and caused a massive reverse cascade effect of power outage. And Diana 2 is here. CBS is here. Tammy Harder is here. Yeah, there was the one in the mid 2000s, but there was one back before because they made a movie about it years before about it. I'd have to look up the movie. Where were you when the lights went out? But there's because I remember talking about it when I was a teenager, or slightly after I was a teenager. Yes, it did. 9 months later, there was a whole bunch of babies being born in a 1 month period. All right, so other man-made on purpose reasons. All right, so we talked about employees, talk about, saboteurs, the terrorist, the big naughty T word. And they can affect it in several ways. The system has become so computerized, but they say, oh, we got really strong security so no one can hack into our system. Well, yeah, their system's been hacked in a bunch of times. People trying to show them, hey, you need to fix this before it really happens. I believe Anonymous has hacked in several times into several power grids and left messages on their computer screens. You need to fix this. We got in very easily. Anyways, all right, so terrorists can do it. And there are a number of ways terrorists can do it. They can do it in a single cell going after trying to shut down one area, or multiple cells in a coordinated effort to trip key points across the United States to try to shut the entire thing down. Texas is pretty much on is separated and buffered on it. So if the rest of the country starts dropping off, boom, 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 Texas will just, you'll hit the wall at Texas and stop. And so Texas will have power. Just like when Texas went out, when all their stuff froze down there, it didn't affect anybody else around them. All right, the captain's in the house. Corsair trainers. Hey, Steve, he's lurking. Moon over Miami is here. All right. So, so the man-made one can be localized, it can be regionalized, it can be national. Neglect, man-made neglect. Oh, geez, like that's not happening now. Oh, wait a minute, I got to back up to the man-made one. Back when the Big T was in for his first term, he was alerted to problems with transformers made in the land of the Red Dragon and stopped the import of them because they were specifically made to malfunction. And said, until you correct these problems, you're not allowed to ship any of your transformers to the United States. Well, then Captain Crazy came in and said, oh, yeah, ship them on. And they started sending them places, that can cause problems. So, yeah, that on purpose was caused by, that's currently going on, is first caused by the land of the Red Dragon and then by Captain Crazy. All right, and that kind of feeds into the neglect one, is that because these transformers had problems with them, that other neglects along the way would cause them to fail, or they themselves were made not to last very long and fail. Then there's all sorts of neglect. Not sending up the crews, as often as they're supposed to check the transmission lines, not doing proper maintenance on the transfer stations, on the substations. It is a friggin' nightmare web of hoofah ready to happen. And so neglect, may cause something really quick. Now, nature caused, let's see, how many things can cause nature caused? Well, let's go to Corsair's Trainers State, where the hanky ringing, blubbering, tree hugging goofballs who don't know they're from a hole in the ground said, oh, the power companies are keeping this big wide swaths of land cleared. They're killing off all these trees on their right of way. We need to stop them from killing all these trees and let the growth come back. Power lines are high in the air. It'll be perfectly fine. And so all sorts of fires have occurred since they started doing that. And they're blaming PG&E for not keeping the right of way clear. We were prohibited from keeping the right of way clear, PG&E declared. And they go, oh, no, you weren't. Yeah. So they were legally stopped from keeping the right of way clear. So that's one thing where nature can cause it, because that's actually partially man-made too, by the idiots, the tree-hugging idiots who sued them to keep from keeping the right of way cleared and doing maintenance on it, so nothing grows there and any problems are taken care of. So all these fires heated up transmission lines, got them super hot. They weigh a couple tons up there, and they start stretching and stretching. And even if they don't break, they stretch a bit, and then winds come along. Now they're longer. They start swaying more. Next thing you know, and yeah, crap happens. Earthquakes have caused towers to come down. Lightning strikes have caused towers to come down. Yeah, and also NGOs too, especially the NGOs, the non-government organizations. And so, of course, then you could say that nature has caused those people to be stupid. Anyways, yeah. So the winds get you guys, but if those lines have been heated from a previous fire, they kind of stretch down a little more. But yeah, there's all sorts of problems that Mother Nature can do. Ice storms in some parts of the country. Well, God forbid that California gets ice buildup on a lot of those transmission lines, especially the ones that are stretched a long way. So you'll get ice forming up on lines, breaking transmission lines. You'll get ice forming up on transfer stations, substations. That happened down in Texas too. Probably a bunch of substations because they had ice building up, and all of a sudden, yeah. Sorry, I love my sound effects. Like throwing my boxes during my box opening videos. So yeah, there are a bunch of things that can cause the grid to go down regionally, and sometimes the regional ones, when things are neglected, can the circuit breakers and the cutoffs and stuff don't work, and all of a sudden you get a cascade effect and stuff just going up all over the place. Yeah, and it should be a big part of everybody's plans. Now, it doesn't even have to be SHTF. It could just be, ice storm. All right, power's out. Okay, generator kicked on. We're good. We can still drive to the store and everything else, but, we have power at the house. All right, next one here. So mitigation and recovery. Mitigation is stuff you do beforehand, like Utah Mike has backup power. So you can do mitigation beforehand so that if the grid does go out, you are not affected or you are less affected by it, depending on the length of time the power goes out. Recovery is what we're going to be talking about tonight is, what are your plans now? It's happened. Okay, now what are you going to do? How are you going to recover? How are you going to deal with it? So those are kind of the things I've done there. Now, I think I'm at the point here where it's, yeah. I got another one coming after this, I believe, here. Yeah. All right, so I pulled some slides from a video, a live stream 3 years ago. Now we're not going to point too many fingers, but this was what the video was. This is the thumbnail from that video. And if you pay attention to the pretty lights behind the words, that's all power. That's a lot of power being used. But so you kind of look at it and figure, okay, what is going to need power and stuff and everything else? Somehow, I think there's a little bit of shift in this map, because under the T for that bright spot there, that's supposed to be Boise, and that should be up a bit higher to be Boise. Because there's nothing down at that part of the state down there. That's even too low for Homestead Air Force Base. So anyway, but it is fairly, you're within 75 miles of everything, seeing where everything's at here. All right. I did that. The words disappear. Yeah. So you can see the stuff there, how everything works. You can see hot spots for different cities, Detroit, Chicago, the big glob over there from New York down to DC and farther. Yeah. So you got a bunch of stuff there going on there. Yeah, so here's one of the hot spots that shows up on the maps really bad. All right, so quickly looking at when I did this video, I looked at the states as a whole, not individual portions, and we kind of I tried to balance it out for it. So looking at a state as a whole, you look at the location in the state where transmission lines are. You're looking at population, you're looking at water supply, food supply, current crime rate, weather, seasonal events, duration events, and others, including political stance, to figure out which state is the state you don't want to be in. But we're just going to gloss over this quickly. So looking at the states as a whole, the worst states, the state of my birth came in first, then Oregon, then New York, then Nevada, then Arizona, then Maine, Illinois, New Jersey, Connecticut, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Washington, and then the DC area. These are the ones that came off worst for being in an area after the power goes out. All right. You don't want to be there. Like I said, California, it took the whole thing, but that's along the coast mainly is the bad spots. You get up where Uncle Al is, or up in the mountains where my son's girlfriend is at, they're going to care less up there. And that's it. All right. So now I'm going to drop the link. For those of you who want to come up here and talk about it. Yeah, Steve Voigt, that was number one at being at the bottom of the pile. Yeah, and that's part of the problem. You know, that's why the one thing we had all that big, massive glow of light pollution over there. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Then, I missed Judy Butterfield. Welcome. Didn't mean to skip over you there. And she says, I lived in Detroit for 20 years ago. Yeah, and that's the thing people forget. Water treatment plants and sewer treatment plants run on power. Those that have generators have maybe a 12-hour supply of fuel. That's it. All right, here comes Mark to join me up here.
Oh, of course, my camera's not working.
Yeah, that's fine.
Really? That's wait.
Yeah, we know it's you. It's got your name there.
You're looking at me in
See,
the dark.
The power went out on him. He's at his cabin. His generator died. His power station died. That's why he's in the black.
There we go. There's my dinner. It's 30 degrees here, and I'm cooking steak, asparagus wrapped in bacon, and a baked potato. And you're not going to be able to see it.
You caught the live, Lee. Okay. I'm working at a power company in California. Don't tell me which one. So I'm willing to bet it's not Pacific. It's not PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. It's the other one down around Steve that services him, I bet. But don't tell me. Shady Hill Homestead. Hey, how's it going? All right. So your power goes out. Mitigation, things you can do to prevent it. There's a lot. Those of you who've been channel members channel subscribers for a while. Remember when I had Ben Gilmore of Minuteman Prep and portablepoweredsolar.com up here on both this channel and Camp Patton Family Compound. We did it live on the one, and then the next time the other one was live, I think it was on Monday, we came back and we did the other one too. So we did carried over. Hey, let's wait to see if it connects. It says device not connected, so I can't bring Dear Love Survival up here. Oh, wait, it's starting to connect. There, it's connecting. There we go.
Hi. Good evening, all.
Oh, crap. It's you again? Oh, my God. We're not just with you like 2 hours ago?
All right.
Well, I got to follow the food chef.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. Where to go? It jumped on me. All right. Randy's joined us. Glenn, How to Garden has joined us. All right. So things you can do in advance. All right. And you can do it in stages. You don't have to go whole hog. You can do baby. Oh, turn the light off. Now I can see all that food.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only reason I'm here is that food.
That's my bacon wrapped asparagus in the front, and my ribeye steak, and a roasted baked potato with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And in the pot is my onions and mushrooms and some olive oil, salt, and pepper. You know what? You got to do what you got to do when you're like off the grid by yourself, middle of freaking nowhere, and you're hungry.
The wife's not a lot. The wife is not around.
Oh no, she gets pictures of this, but she won't come out here unless she has to.
Yeah. He's getting prepared now. Chef's getting prepared now.
I've been prepared, but I'm just enjoying myself.
All right. So, give you an example. All right. For me here in Idaho, I have out in the shop. I got a tri-fuel generator out there. It runs on gasoline, propane, or natural gas. And now that I'm on natural gas, I'll soon have an outlet set up out here where I just plug it into the natural gas and then run over and plug it into the house, and I can power the entire house. I also happen to have, if I don't want to make a lot of noise and let everybody know what I'm doing, I got a couple small power stations, 1,500 watt. Got a couple 1,500 watts. I got a 400 watt one for my CPAP, and I still haven't put them up. My wife wants to wait until she's up here and has time to spend a couple of weeks before we set up the 3,000 watts of solar panels up. I also happen to have for my computers here a I can't remember the brand now, a uninterrupted office power supply unit sitting under there, and I can plug it into my 1,500 watt Kodiak to give it longer. And I got four. How many watt hour batteries are those? Four 50 amp hour batteries that I could charge onto that and keep it going longer. What did Mike say?
I can't read comments, so.
Yeah, it says, my number one rule is to use less energy now.
Yep, learn to do with less.
Learn to do less. And so, I got some stuff going here. In California, where my wife is still working for, I don't know how much longer before she retires here. Hopefully before summer's out. They have a gas generator down there, and they've got everything in the house is natural gas. Froze. They got 3 Mr. Buddy heaters down there because the furnace, even though the furnace is natural gas, it runs on power, and neither one of the boys or my wife wants to mess with the electricity to put jumpers across to run the 120 volt side of the furnace to run it. So, but they do have generators where they can run stuff in, run extension cords in, and I got a wall thing where they plug it in on the outside and they plug it on the inside so the door's not kept open, and they can run cords to the refrigerator, the chest freezer, the upright freezer, and then charge up some of the small power stations I have there. Or for my sons, they can quickly charge up their oversized batteries on their laptops.
That works.
Yep.
I had to fire up my generator on propane this afternoon because my jackery was down to 38% overnight. I don't know why. I think it's just getting old, or I was charging too many other things. And I charged everything and ran the lights and the fan and the wood stove. And yeah, I'd never run that generator on propane yet. And I found the cable adapter for it. And Work great. Nice and quiet, too.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you have a gas-powered or diesel-powered or, a generator out there, not a solar generator, no such thing as a solar generator. You have a generator. You don't run it constantly. You run to get all the freezers and stuff cold, charge up everything to charge up, and turn it off until things are getting ready to go beep, 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 but you need to charge it up again.
Yeah.
50 watts to run my in-floor heat. Cool. Excellent, Judy. Yeah. And that's the other thing. I forgot all about that. I have, so there were 5 per box. I have, so I got about 40 walkway lights that are solar powered with 2 AA rechargeable batteries in there. And so I got all sorts of light for when the power is out, at night or even the daytime back in the bathrooms and stuff. So I got plenty of light. I got plenty of flashlights for light. I got one of my favorites, a little LED one here from Harbor Freight with the magnet and the hook on it. I have my other one I got from Agent J. He says, just look right here. And but I got a lot of flashlights. For Christmas, I bought all the grandsons a big pack of lights. They each got 3 flashlights. Cool. And some of those have still survived after 2 years. And so I've got plenty of lights and stuff here. That's how I've set up here for stuff. With the way the power works around here, when the backup power for the internet over in Firth is working, my router is plugged into my backup power under the desk here. So I will have, so long as they're up, I can keep live streaming and stuff and working on stuff for about 6 hours before I have to worry about losing power. But if you're going to be if you are seriously worried about the power outage and how it affects you, there are a lot of options to work on beforehand, as pre-mitigation to. All right, yeah, I see that.
All right, sorry, I'll turn my camera off now. It's killing my battery.
That looks lovely.
And so there is, there are a lot of options. In the last 4 years, there has been leaps and bounds in technology improvement in the portable power stations and the not so portable power stations for homes. And they have made, in the last 2 years, they've made a lot of advancement in providing 240 volt split phase, so you can run electric furnaces, not a good idea. Run electric dryers, still not a good idea unless you have a lot of power for it, but you can do it. Electric water heaters, not a good idea because they still suck a lot of power. But and if you have an electric stove, like I said, 240 draws a lot of power, but they have systems now that can handle it for a while. And if you have enough, if you're over paneled, it'll charge it up in the next day. There are a bunch of new of the power stations now that are for the past years. I mean, it's been like you had the power station, you could put 1 battery on it. Oh, now you can put 2 batteries on it. And now they have more you can put 8 or 10 batteries on them. And we're talking big units. And so you can do it where you can run just about everything all night long. And if you're over paneled in the daytime, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're fully recharged. Unfortunately, it costs money.
Yeah.
Although some of them are cheaper than others because of the way they get their stuff. But I'm not going to go into all that. You want to learn all about that? Go to the YouTube channel, Minuteman Prep, and see what Ben does over there. Because he gets all these, he buys most of the power stations and tests them and tries to break them.
Jill, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think technology has been mankind's downfall?
I think it has.
I think it has in one way, and in another way, it's given us a double-edged sword, a triple-edged sword that we're trying to juggle.
Yeah.
Technology has given us some great stuff. One of the edges of the sword, it's been abused by unscrupulous, greedy SO-hoosies.
Yep.
And who have realized, we don't need to make the stuff high quality. We just need to make sure it works for a year, and then it can fall apart, and they'll buy the newest and latest, greatest.
Exactly. This is what they're doing with technology. I had a friend who bought the latest LCD TV, and he said, "Come and see my TV." I went there, saw his TV. It looked lovely. A motorcycle went past outside, and the screen just went all funny. I said, "Well, that's not very good, is it?"
Yeah.
But you're right. They get things to where it works, and they just get it out there. You know, it doesn't matter if it might leak here and there. But of course, when you do that with a nuclear power station, it can be a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right. Mark?
Yeah.
Utah Mike says, you're giving up your location by smell.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I got the smell from London.
You got to get past like 18 cities, the Atlantic Ocean, and a whole lot of Texas roadhouses spewing their steak fumes.
Yeah. Just to look at the side chat, just make sure. All right, I want to address something on this here. I'm not going to address the rechargeable lights themselves. I'm going to address the batteries in them. The Land of the Red Dragon has popularized substandard voltage batteries that are 1.2 volts instead of 1.5 volts. The AA's and AAA's. They wear out a lot faster. So if you're going to be getting rechargeable batteries, make sure you dig into it to see whether it's 1.2 or 1.5. Well, it makes a big difference.
Most of the old school rechargeable batteries were all 1.2 back in the day.
No, they weren't. They were 1.5.
No,
I found some of my old Panasonic ones. They were 1.5, and then all of a sudden they switched over to 1.2. And now that they're making lithium ones and some other ones, the lithium ones are 1.5. So some of these others are coming out in 1.5 because word's gotten out and their sales of the 1.2s dropped off.
But there's a lot of gadgets. Sorry.
Well, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of gadgets out there that are, going to be risky for some people that think, oh, I've just bought this new gadget. It's fantastic. But there's a lot of gimmicks out there, especially in the camping sort of survival sort of world.
Yeah.
Just be wary of what you get.
Yeah, Lee, I agree with you on this. Not that the television itself destroyed neighborhoods. The insane cable TV destroyed neighborhoods. Because until we had cable TV, we had ABC on Channel 7, NBC on Channel 4, and if we're lucky, we got NBC on Channel 3 from San Jose. We had CBS in Sacramento or San Francisco. And then on the UHF, we had channel 44 in San Francisco and channel 36 in San Jose. That was it. And we had to use the antenna to change channels. And since there was that was the antenna we had, and so we just had one TV that weighed 150 pounds. If you were lucky, it may have been 200 pounds.
It was on wheels. It was
we
portable.
Spent all the boys, all the boys and girls. We spent our time outside until it got too dark to see, or someone had their pocket and realized, oh crap, it's 10 o'clock. We got to go home.
Yep. Good old days.
Come on,
9 o'clock television, but that was before cable. That was BC.
Yeah. That's a good one. It's Cold War Prepper says television destroyed neighborhoods. Everyone, well, what was that?
Everyone moved indoors, and social media destroyed families. And
so basically, it's destroyed families. It's destroyed communities. Is it destroying nations? I mean, we could talk about Hollywood as well, but we're saying, is technology harmful to us in the long run? Has it been harmful? Has it, or has it been abused? Is it abused now to the point where we're at the stage where we're at because of the abuse of technology? You're hearing youngsters can go straight on the website, watch porn, watch all kinds of rubbish, all kinds of horrific stuff on the dark net. It's totally corrupting people's minds. And then when they shut everything off, and then everyone turns into a zombie.
Yep. Tennessee Tactical Ones here. Hey, Jeremy. Shoot, I knew I forgot to do something. Hang on. Put it back up. I need to go over here and do a little change here. Okay, and that there. Come on. Pen. There we go. Replace pin message. There we go. All right, now the link's up there. Here I didn't have TV here, but my 132-inch monitor here is a Roku TV monitor, and it's like, oh, I'll see what's on Roku, and so I had Roku for a little bit, and then I added Tubi. Then my son got Max, and came up here and programmed it, so it popped up under my account. And then my wife got Paramount Plus, and some Max Paramount Plus, and then there's a couple other ones. So basically, I almost got TV back in, but I don't watch live TV, and sometimes I'll watch a bunch of TV. Generally, when I'm on the exercise equipment for a half hour, and I'm exercising, I'll bring up an old show like I did this morning. I was watching Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, and I watched that. And but other times it's I'm doing other stuff. I'm working on stuff.
Yeah.
Dioris is in the house.
Hey, Dioris.
And so technology ruining families and stuff the technology has been abused not only by the people using it, by the people creating crap for it.
Yep.
Woohoo! Woo!
Wee!
Yeah, thank you. So like basically, and this is what there are videos out there of this, and yes, I was watching them a lot for a while just because I like laughing. I needed a good laugh. People like this walking along into a telephone pole, into a mailbox,
off the cliffs,
into a
cliffs.
Yeah, just watching little clips that people caught on security cameras and stuff. Just people totally oblivious, go walking along, glance up, see the light screen, they keep on walking, don't realize that there's a drop off for the curb. It's not a nice slope.
I've stopped people from getting run over because they're on their phone trying to cross the road, didn't realize the traffic lights are turned green, and they're walking. I've had to sort of put my arm out and say, stop. You know, oh, thanks very much. I said, well, you need to look where you're going. You're stuck on your phone.
Yeah. And even with just the 4 quote channels we have here, sometimes it's like nothing's on worth watching. Well, I need to work on my book, or I need to do something else, and so the only time there's something being watched all the time over here is when the grandkids come over and they get done tired playing with the toys, and they go, oh, Paramount Plus Kids channel, and they watch the Smurfs, they watch Paw Patrol, they watch animated Transformers. Those are the 3 big ones they watch. And I know that which ones they've been watching by what song they're humming as they go out the back door. They hum the theme song. And Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's on too. Yeah, you can make a solar-powered stove out of aluminum foil and a box. Let's see here.
Not in the wintertime.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Interesting thing. If it's not snowing, and even if it's snowing very lightly or just a slight cloud cover, I can crank open the blinds in the living room there, and all of a sudden the living room is 2 or 3 degrees warmer than the kitchen.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but the technology, I would say, the problem with it is how it's used and the people using it.
And as well, with all this sort of globalist stuff going on as well, with the cheap labor and technology, it just seems all a bit strange, really, that, like, is the quality of stuff getting better or is it getting worse?
Come on up, Dioris.
Yep.
Come on up, man.
Jeremy, you want to come up? You can come up too. Yeah, you can't hide from it. Yeah. There is.
They're drawing us into. They want to put the technology in us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not happening. Well, it may happen, not to me.
Okay, there was a movie with I forget the actor's name. He played our man Flint. Was the knife thrower in the Magnificent Seven. James Colbert. James Colbert. There was a movie called The President's Analyst, and at the end, it revealed who the bad guy organization was. AT&T. They were trying to get the president to sign sign an executive order authorizing the implantation of phone chips in everybody. And this was back in the late 60s. All right, Doris.
Yeah, first they give it to you to hold. Then, you hold the phone in your hand. You walk around with it. You fidget around with it. Then they give it to you to wear. You can wear it on a watch. You can put these glasses on. And then they want to put it in you.
Yeah.
And they put it on the film.
They make it big. Then they made it small. Now they're making it bigger. And people are like, oh, this is too big. I don't want to have to hold my phone. Can you just
they're very
hang something on the side of my head?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's so funny. This phone here is, for space-wise, is probably 2.5 times the size of my first cell phone. My first cell phone was a little Nokia.
Oh yeah.
The 3300 or 3302. And you had A, B, C, A, N, M, N,
Yeah.
Space.
You had to pull the little antenna. You had to make sure you pulled your little antenna out.
No, it didn't have an antenna. It didn't have an antenna, but
So,
it was just, sending a text message was insane. Now my older brother, his first cell phone was a brick about this big with an antenna sticking up on it, a shoulder strap.
I used to sell them. I used to sell them back in the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what they're doing to us. They're like drug dealers. They're getting you on the opium, like China. Get you hooked on it. So they're getting us hooked on the technology. Look, you can hold a phone. You could talk to your friends, and then oh look, you got a calculator on your phone. Wow. Oh, now you got a TV on your phone. Wow. Now you've got like lots of channels on your phone. Wow. Oh, you can do this on your phone. You can do that on your phone. Everybody gets, you can do your wages and your payment and your banking. Next minute, everyone's doing everything through their phone.
Yeah.
So they get everybody hooked.
I gotta find my third grade teacher when I brought a calculator in a TI 29, whatever. I borrowed
Texas
from my
Instrument.
dad. Yep. I brought that in. My teacher's like, you're not going to have a calculator with you your whole life. I want to go back to her and show her my cell phone and say, yeah, I do.
Here's the thing. This phone here, it can take videos. Yeah. Okay. So it's got a nice camera on it. It has the calculator on it. It has a voice recorder on it. It can text and it can make phone calls. That is it. It has no web access. It has no GPS on it. And I'm very happy with it that way.
Yeah. Well,
and if the head of all the phone companies and Samsung and Apple all heard that, they're going, oh no, we got to get rid of him. He's going to get everybody off of it.
Yeah, we need rehabilitation centers for people trying to get off technology.
Well, the thing is, I never got on it. I knew it was a problem.
There's another question as well that would be interesting for everybody to think about. Is don't forget your question now. Is can we do without the technology?
We can. It's going to be hard at first till we go to old school technology, such as the slide rule. But as far as being connected technology, we really, we need to have. I hate to say this, and people are going to freak out, but we need to have something happen to crash it, to give us a thing of we got to get away from it. I love being able to converse with people on YouTube, share information, get information out there to people.
Yeah.
He's doing it again. There we go. Woohoo!
All right.
So it'll be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what would happen. But what's so funny here in America, if technology were to go because of, and I'm going to, another thing from Mother Nature, which I forgot to put up, that would cause the grid to go down. The sun.
Yeah.
And we have another Carrington event. You know who's going to come out the winner for quite a while?
Me.
Amish and the Mennonites. Because they already do everything. They already have the livestock to move stuff around and do things. People going out to try to buy a horse, it's going to, and trying to learn to buy the right horse. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And yeah, it's going to be a whole new learning experience for 4 generations all at once, trying to learn it all at once.
It's almost like they've done it purposely to get us away from the connection from nature, the connection from everything they've done is like, it's easier. Like your food, you don't have to cook. You've got microwaves. You've got everything. Everyone's so dependent on technology, and they forgot where they've come from. Literally, people, they say things like, "Oh, my son and my daughter ain't going to do the same things that I went through." Why not? Your granddaddy did, and his granddad did. Hey, Dawes.
Howdy.
Hey, welcome.
Why not keep the old methods going? It's almost like they want us to forget about. I mean, they want us to get us addicted to technology, and then bam, if it's all shut off, what's everyone going to do?
What's up, Doris?
Not much.
Hey, Doris.
That's the first time I've seen your face. Usually you're on everybody else's stream with the little horse picture.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go back to the avatar.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Diana. No, though they are probably one of the largest prepared groups out there, they're not prepared to go back to off-grid. Yeah, they the Mormons, the LDS Church talks about getting a year's supply of food, getting this, being self-reliant and stuff. But it's all within the structure of modern society.
Yeah.
Not the structure of the 1800s or the 1600s or the 1300s.
I'd say test yourself out. Go for a couple of days without electricity. Go without gas. Have days where you're just going to, do something, turn off the electricity and practice. Practice cooking with your, recently I was talking about if the grid goes down, have you got stuff that you could cook with? Have you got a little stove, a little backup cooker?
I have in my kitchen. Well, my kitchen is still electric stove, but I don't use the electric. I use this indoor-outdoor apartment propane cooktop.
Yep, I've got something similar. Yeah,
I like that. Unfortunately, all I've got for the stoves, like I said, I've got a few camp stoves, but like I said, they're not indoor-outdoor rated. I wish they were, but that's all right. That's better than nothing.
Yeah,
of course. I've made lovely meals on little camping stoves in my kitchen.
Yeah.
If
you have a good propane camp stove, two burner, 3-burner camp stove, so long as you keep that flame blue, you're good. So when you start getting the yellow and
you got inefficient, was it like incomplete combustion or something like that? Yeah. I've also got those cans of sterno. I got cases of those sternos. I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know what the max shelf life is on those.
I've had a case for 14 years. I didn't know I had. I opened up a box. I was like, "Oh shit! There's a case of sterno in here." I picked one up, and it was still, the whole 12-pack was wrapped in plastic. I picked one up and shook it. I heard the liquid. I'm like, "Holy crap! It's still good."
Yeah.
I'll just leave it alone.
It's not so much worrying about the stuff leaking out, because that is a case for some of the ones that you can buy at the Dollar Tree that are not sterno brand. They call them fancy heat.
Yeah.
But I think those are a little bit different with liquid. I'm just worried about kind of like gasoline. When gasoline sits around too long, it turns into varnish. It breaks down, turns into varnish.
No, sterno doesn't do that because it's sealed in a can. It doesn't gas off. It doesn't evaporate unless the can's open. Yeah. And that's why as soon as I shook, and I have the ones with the screw caps with the wick built in, not the little pop tops. The ones with the pop tops, forget it. You might as well throw them in the trash after 4 years.
Yeah, I've got the screw on tops, and I've got a few that got the ones where you got to pry them off with the screwdriver.
Yeah. I have the ones. I have some that were given to me because they wanted to get rid of them that have a screw top on it.
Yep.
No. You screw it off, and it's got a
wick.
No, it doesn't have a wick. It has a pressed-in metal seal. So you got to get your screwdriver. You got to pop that loose, and then the wick and everything's down in there. You just light it up.
Yeah, those are the ones not a wick. Yeah, I don't know if there's a wick in there or not. Maybe not.
I know the ones you buy over at Dollar Tree, they got wicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they only have a screw cap, and they just gas out and turn to gel, and they don't do anything.
No, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've got a few that I've had for like 7 years. I mean, if they end up being bad, I guess I'm out like what $100 worth for 100 of them.
Yeah.
Another thing I put in as well as the cooking stuff is emergency water. I've got myself some big 25-liter containers. I've got a few of those. I've got water purification tablets. Also filters. I've got a couple of soya minis.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize if the grid goes down, there's going to be no water.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's something that I've been added to since I lived here. Because out here, we get in some really nasty droughts out here in West Texas, and I'm always concerned that one day we might have one that's really bad. That's almost as bad what they experienced out here back in the 30s, where people's wells literally dried up. Now, I'm not sure about the municipal city water supply. I don't know how that situation might play out. I know in some areas, like even back when I was living in Colorado, they weren't against doing water rationing if the drought-like conditions were bad. It was already bad enough where you weren't allowed to water your lawn after 9 a.m. You're only allowed to water it on Saturdays, and you're only allowed to wash your vehicle in your own driveway on Saturdays after before 9 a.m.
All right. So for water, I want to address a couple things here, right? Because the grid's out. We've lost, you've lost all the power for the stuff. So first thing I'm going to bring up here, IBC totes. I get mine used once from the local distillery here. The only thing it's had in it was 193 proof potato alcohol. So when I get it, it's sanitized.
Yep.
It's sterilized.
Yeah.
All right. So here is one. These are refurbished ones. And Walmart has one 275 gallon for $55 refurbished. In other words, the cage is old, the tank is new.
Yeah.
Which is, hey, that's fine. Resilient Medical has the taller ones, the next size up, 330 gallon for $68.
Real quick, what are the standard sizes for those IBC totes, typically speaking?
The majority is the 275.
Okay.
The next one is the 330, and I got some of both.
Okay.
So here, all right. Crowned by LE, whatever, they're selling, but that probably does not include shipping other than Walmart's. 330 for $54. But there are other ones. You can do more looking. Don't just go at the first ones. You look deeper. So 275 gallons at a gallon a day per person, or a gallon a day. So basically, you got 275 days for one person, or you have 36 days for two people. You just take it down and do it that way. And you can divide how long you can use, how long these will last. A lot more than a couple of 55-gallon barrels for sure. And if they're kept indoor, or if you keep them covered, you eliminate a lot of the algae problem. So, buying the refurbished ones is a lot better deal than buying the new ones.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to show you guys, I showed you the thing. This is the one I bought. This is the exact same one I have.
Okay.
The price is less than what I paid for. When did I buy it? I bought it 2.5 years ago.
Better buy it now because them tariffs are going to double it.
It's $85.99. It'll say $86. And if you got Prime, it's free shipping.
That ain't too bad. I guess I should ask, do those come with heat shields?
No, it's a countertop. It's a countertop.
Yeah, but like you said, it's
it's rated for outdoors. But if you have outdoors, you got to put up some sort of windshield.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Because I've got a couple of I think they're called Tech Sport. They're just little single burner, red stoves. And like I said, those don't have the heat shields. And I found out, the first time I was trying to use one of those out in the open, it was like, this isn't working.
Yeah, the CAMPCH. Okay. I have the second one down. I have one of those here. Has a heat shield on it. In California, I have the 3-burner. Let me bring that up here. The 3-burner.
I don't need a 3-burner. I got the 2-burner.
This is the one I have over here. This one here. I have the 3-burner with the griddle on Costco, and it was like $149 when I got it.
Jeez, $400.
Yeah. Now, the ones like this, even without that windshield on it, unless you're getting a lot of hard wind, I hardly ever use my windshield ever.
Oh, okay.
Because it's down inside the unit. Let's see if it shows a picture of it down inside. No, it's not showing. Oh, I did get the 2-burner box too from Costco. I think it was $58 when I got it.
Nice.
But,
I wasn't aware that they made propane stoves. I mean, I know Camp Chef, they make halfway decent cast irons. They're not like the best, but if you can't get a hold of Lodge, a Lodge cast iron, like Camp Chef's like the next best thing.
And so that's all the other ones. But so having propane something to cook on outdoors or indoors is when the power's out, having warm food is amazing for morale.
I've got one of these.
Hang on.
We lost.
Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. I want to hit that.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Made by who is that? Who's the manufacturer on that?
Halfords.
Okay.
Halfords, and they do really cheap price. They've got very good prices.
Yeah. So one of the things you got to be. I'm going to see. Don't see. Oh, I know why. I'm going to see it. Let me change the number here to 1. Yeah, so you do have your turkey fryer ones. You got to be careful because turkey fryers ones are really hot.
Yep.
So you got to be careful on those. But even the ones that use the isobutane little cylinders, like for jet boils, whatever else, are good. These things here, I have one of these that my wife got me for use indoors. If we needed to, and I got a bunch of the gas cylinders for it. I've used it twice, and I'm not going to use it again until I absolutely have to, because those gas cylinders are not cheap. Now they're making them now with. Let me go over here with the adapter there to use the green
propane.
The green propane, and if you use that adapter, they have the adapter to you go from that to the big tanks.
That's cool. Very good.
Yeah, I've got the adapter kit. I've got 2 adapter kits, my Mr. Heater adapter kits. And I figured those will probably work on my stove. I have to.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the with the Mr. Heater. I bought 3 Mr. Heaters there in California. I got 3 Mr. Heaters here, and then I got another Mr. Heater area one, and then I got a couple of shop heaters, torpedo shop heaters that I've never used yet that were given to me.
Yeah.
But with the Mr. Heater, I'm going to try to find it here for you guys. The heater, there we go, Mr. Heater, propane heater. The with like this is the Mr. Heater Buddy. That's the one I got.
Yep.
The price came back down again. Okay. And I got this one, type of heater here over there, and I got 2 of these there. But the accessories for it, for the Mr. Heater, well, I actually got that one too as well in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I got that set up differently.
I got 2 of those small pedestal, or no, 3 of those small pedestal ones you had your cursor on. If you scroll back up, I got that big box heater right there, next to the 2 aerial ones. No, big spot on the left, the red one, the one that take 2 tanks on either side.
Yeah, or if you got the big hose, you can put a big tank on it.
Or, I mean, technically speaking, if you had the hose and adapter, you could probably hook, like 2 of those hoses and adapters and 2 tanks. You could put 2 tanks on there probably. Yeah. I haven't done that. I've only done just a single tank and hose. And then up there, right there, no, that's the same big one. If you scroll to the very top, the little buddy, that I've got 2 of them. Yeah. Now the newer, the big box heater, the one that's got that we just got done looking at, they got another version of that's got a built-in fan now.
Yeah. That's really? This one over here has the built. Oh, this one has a fan on it. But yeah, one of the things. So these are the Mr. Heaters. Hang on, let me get out for a second. Like this one here. The one I get when I was getting it over at Home Depot came with the hose, so you could hook it up to a 20 or a 30-pound tank. Ooh. So it's got the new the bit with the big black handle on it. Let me show you. I'll find it here. Hoses.
Yeah, they got. I don't know why they call it a fuel filter, but they got that filter, that little cylinder that screws on to the end of the hose.
Yeah, right there.
I don't know if that's really a filter. I think that's more of a regulator.
No, it's a filter.
Is it?
It's for
particulates for the crappy gas.
Yeah. So like if you look at the brands here, so this is Dozy Ant 4-foot one. This one you'd want to put that filter on because that's not a Mr. Heater made. Mr. Heater makes their hoses different than everybody else. Everyone else makes their hoses cheaper, and they use they'll use petroleum oil for lubricating it for the manufacturing process. Well, it's still oily inside of it, and that will get in and plug up your Mr. Heater.
Gotcha. That makes sense now.
Yeah, so that's why that picks up particulates and pulls the oils out. And so when your heater starts acting up with a filter on it, time to change the filter. But see, here's so this has that type of a fitting on it. Actually, that's the type you want to get.
Yeah, I got one of those. A little mini stove hooked to a 20-pound bottle right next to me.
Yeah.
With
this one here screws into the old style propane tanks. This one here screws into the new style propane tanks.
Yeah.
So the new style ones, you can use the old style on the new style because they still have the internal.
Right. However,
I'm gonna waste my time with that outside crap.
Yeah. The other thing, I'm looking for the other hoses here. The other hoses, and I have several of them. Basically, they got the male female of that type of the little bottles on it, so you can put a propane tree on your 20-pound tank and hook a couple of buddies off of the propane tree.
I got one of those too at my cabin. I just forgot about it. You just reminded me.
Yeah.
Haven't needed it, but I got
one. Let me see here. I got to look here at my previous orders here. The wrong button. Pain. Propane tree. See if it comes under tree here. Oh. Help if I spell right here, folks. No results found. Okay, let me see. Propane. ADAPTER. So I got it. Okay, doesn't have it. Shoot.
I think it's called like a multi-port or something.
Propane.
What about if you put it in Coleman or something like that?
No, it's not a Coleman. It was a JanSport.
Oh, okay.
Let me try JanSport. Not sure if it's one word or 2 words. No, it's probably 2 words.
Just put in propane adapter.
No, I did. I tried propane adapter. Didn't come up with it.
No.
Okay. Just do propane, see what comes up. Okay, scroll on down. Yeah, so I've gotten 2 of these. One for here, one for California. And it's not showing it. And I know I ordered it from here. Unless no, what happens is when you when they stop carrying it, they remove it from your order history.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let me do it this way here. What I got was and it works great. Okay, so yeah. So what I got was similar to this one here, the two-parter, and so I have this, just the one part on a 30-pound tank in the master bath, because there's a huge one of those quarter Roman tubs that we will never ever use. And so I have it sitting in there, and on top of that, I have that little heater. I have this screwed on top instead of on a bottle. It's on that, and I've been using that one tank for 2 winters now. 2 winters, and that tank is still half full. Wow. And because I just turn it on for half an hour before I go in and take a shower, because that's the coldest room in the house in the wintertime. But it works great for heating it up in there. And so when this thing here on the floor stand, it can easily be knocked over.
Yeah.
But when it's on a propane tank with that tree on it, up there, it's up 3.5, 4 feet in the air, and the kids aren't going to knock it over. Mm-hmm. And it's much safer. And that's a safe thing for using for area heat. It's like, okay, we're all going to gather in the family room that has a bathroom off the side of it. So that's where we're going to be in the winter time when the power's out and everything. So you get something like that, it'll keep that area nice and warm.
Yeah.
A little one. You don't need the big monster one.
And also, to go along with that, make sure you've got plenty of blankets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have picked up from Harbor Freight 5 wool blankets. Of course, I had to get them dry cleaned to get the processing smell out of them, and then hang them out in the shop for a year.
I was not aware they were selling wool blankets. I've been trying to look for some wool blankets. I go look on surplus stores, and sometimes surplus stores will have them for sale. But man, I'll be damned. They want an arm and a leg for those wool blankets.
Now it's been 3 years since I bought one at Harbor Freight. They may not carry it anymore.
Try the secondhand stores. Try
yes.
If you try the people that are doing yard sales, you could pick up some wool blankets. Yes, they're very expensive, but try. I think you guys call them thrift stores.
Yeah, we call them thrift shop. Sometimes they call them they're referred to as secondhand stores. Yeah, thrift stores.
Okay, Harbor Freight has stopped carrying them.
Of course they did.
Yeah. However, what Harbor Freight does have that's really cool.
Air conditioners? Sorry.
No.
Blanket.
Hang on. You're gonna love this one. There we go. The moving blankets.
Yeah.
The 72 by 80 inch one. My scouts.
I've got 5 of them.
Yeah, my scouts when we were going up in the one area would each ask me to bring my box of blankets, and I bring of these moving blankets. They'd each get one. They would lay it down, put their sleeping bag in it, pull the rest of it back over themselves.
Job
Those
done.
guys were toasty warm in the morning.
Yep. I picked up 5 of those.
$9. I got to go to Harbor Freight tomorrow on the way home.
Here's the 40 by 72. The 40 by 72. I have a bunch of these too, and right now it's on sale for $4.
Jeez. 40 by 10. Okay, get 2 of them. They're $8 versus $9. Okay.
Yeah. Now, what my wife and I did with these, since we were the scoutmaster and committee chair, we take our 8-person tent up, set it up, and we laid 2 of the 72 by 80 pads down inside the tent, so like a padding, so we don't punch holes in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And then we'd set up our cots in there on top of that, and then we would lay one of them folded in half on the cot, and then we put our sleeping bags on top.
Yeah.
And we still were nice, toasty warm.
Make sure you got plenty of firewood.
Mm-hmm.
I got firewood. You know I got firewood now.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, there's so the power's out. There, you lose. You think, all right, everyone thinks I got a gas furnace.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. What powers the gas furnace? Well, you got a transformer to run the thermostat. You have a 120 volt fan blower. You have
electronic igniter. Yep.
Igniter. Everything on it.
Hey, we lose power in our house, and I have a gas stove with the the little click 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 ignition. I'm like, hey, honey, I need your lighter. Poof, light the stove. We're good.
Okay, there's something else I forgot to tell you guys. Let's show it here.
You changing your gender again? Oh, sorry.
No. Here we go. This, if you happen to have a wood stove, this can go on the stovepipe.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Heat off the stovepipe as well. And these sit on the top of the stove, and they're heat powered. I got 3 of the ones on the stovepipe, and I got 4 of these sitting on the top of the stove.
Around for a long time. Yeah.
And you got that many going, you get a nice breeze blowing away from the stove that even when the power is off, it's still circulating the air around through the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and back again. Yeah,
they're not that cheap, but for a decent one. I mean, you can get some real crappy ones.
Yeah, the price of these have gone up.
Yeah, $40.
Yeah, these prices on these have gone up. They were like $29 when I got them. Let me go back one space and just see.
Yeah, the ones at Tractor Supply are like $49 or $59.
Yeah. So so the ones that mount up on the up here on the stove things, they are currently unavailable for that one. Let me look at, is that the same one? I think same one. So they come and go in season and stuff. Okay, a different model, currently unavailable as well. Like I said, so people with all the power outages and stuff, they got sold out of everything. So
another good thing to have is thermals. I'm a good believer in having good clothing as your first line of defense is your clothing. Your power's gone down. You've got no gas. You didn't manage to get yourself an emergency cooker, emergency, so your first line of defense is clothing. So I've got a good range of thermal underwear. I don't know what you use, Jill or Chef or Dawes. If you guys use thermal, but if all else fails, at least you've got some decent thermals on.
Yeah. Trying to find them.
Merino wool is very good.
Yeah. So I've bought several pair, and of course they're they're no longer carrying them on Amazon. They were I can't pronounce it. The wool on the outside and cotton liner on the inside. And there are some people, Dave from Southern Ohio Prepping is allergic to wool, but he can wear these because it's cotton against his skin, not wool. And I have several of those, and those are really nice.
That's interesting. I've never heard of a wool allergy.
Yeah.
Well, somebody who says they have a wool allergy means when they put on the old wool socks or jean or pants, they itch.
Well, worse than that, they get red and inflamed.
Well, okay, that's an allergy, but anybody says it's itchy, okay, whatever.
Here's the funny, just the opposite. Mary, I'm not going to give her last name, who was the manager of the Scout Shop, and she also went up on all the NYLT courses as one of the cooks, was allergic to the Scout socks, which had polyester in them.
Shit.
She was not allergic to wool socks, and so she got green wool socks to wear instead.
That works.
So yeah,
we have a store, and you probably have one similar, Gil. It's called Ollie's, and what they do is they do the buyouts. And dude, I'm telling you, right
closed
now,
out prices. Yeah.
I buy hoodies. I love hoodies. And I buy a hoodie. It's like a $59 hoodie, and I'm wearing one. Who's this one? Carhartt. It's like a $60 hoodie. I got it for $14. I bought 3. They had 3 in extra large. I was like, I'll take them. My wife's like, why'd you buy 3? I'm like, because I'll never have to buy another one.
Yeah, sadly, the Big Lots. I guess Big Lots is completely.
Yeah, Big Lots is going down. Yeah, they're pretty much done.
Yeah. Now what?
Up in Maine, it's Marden's, Mardens. We have Ollie's, and then there's a couple other random ones around the country.
There was one. Oh my God, there was one that I remember seeing up there in Connecticut. Oh, what the hell is the name of it?
There was one called Marden's. My mom had one up in Maine, and they're all over. It's like an Ollie's, but another name.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go look it up real quick. Look up that other one. I cannot remember the name of it. And it's like I've only ever seen it in the New England area.
Yep, it's gonna bug you now. Go ahead.
There's one of the things I got, and let me come on, get on the right. There we go. For here, I got these are rag wool gloves, but they're insulated. They're fleece line insulated, or the mitten ones. Let me show you the mitten ones. The mitten ones are have Thinsulate inside, including the mitten part that flips up over your fingers. So if you're careful, you're not going to touch the wool other than around your wrist. But if you put on a shirt and you pull the glove on over the shirt, but for those that have an allergy, but then there's also different types of wool too, for like Diana too. Alpaca, you may be allergic to sheep wool, but not alpaca wool.
Wow.
And you can get some of the gloves. You're going to pay more for, and the socks and stuff with the alpaca, but it's also a lot nicer and softer, and it's almost like fleece, and it's like ooh.
You can get them. You can get gloves made out of buffalo wool. Wait, and they're expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, so Diana, you have to check to see, find out if you're allergic to all wool or just sheep wool or
Chinese wool.
So yeah, Chinese wool, or whether alpaca or what's the other one like alpacas that they get the wool off of this very, very expensive wool.
Yeah. Llama.
Yeah, llamas and stuff, that too. So one other thing I wanted to throw up here, and
don't throw up on your screen. That's not
power stations. Here we go. Okay, so if you're worried about the power, if you want power and you don't have any way of getting power, and you absolutely need power, right now the OUPES has one of the best lines out right now, and so I'm going to. So that's the Mega 3. That's the Mega 5 expensive. That's the Mega 2. Come on, where's the Mega 1?
I bought a pair of cheap battery banks on clearance over at the truck stop, but I didn't spend any money on them. I saved up my fuel rewards points for them.
There we go. There's Mega 1. The Mega 1, which is all right, it's $5.50, but it's got a coupon to take it down to $4. So it's a $110 coupon on it that you check out with. So it's only $439 for this. It has a 1,024 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery. My little batteries here are 50 amp hour. And so I'm not sure what that works out for the amp hours and stuff.
I will be right back.
But yeah.
I can't find that. I can't find that discount store. I was looking on Google Maps on memory, and I can't. Yeah, it is going to kill me because their slogan was, and they painted. They had it. They painted it on the back end of their trailers, their semi truck trailers. This is the end of high prices, and I can't remember the name of the. I can't remember the name of the dang discount store. I can't remember it. I just remember
and it's not Martin's.
No, it's not Martin's.
Right.
I think it began with an O. I don't remember though. I don't.
No, Ollie. Well, it's not Ollie's.
No, it's not Ollie's. It's not Ollie's. Yeah. I think it's like Ocean something. I can't remember. I don't remember now. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna go grab those battery packs real quick.
Thank you, Lee, for throwing it up there. So 50 amp hour, yes, 600 watt hours. So this is almost with the battery, internal battery on this is the equivalent of 2 of my. But I'm not going to be using it. Personally, I wouldn't be using it full pressure, full max usage on it. But something like this I would be able to put my chest freezers on this, put a little timer on there, so it can only power the refrigerator and freezer once every, for half an hour every 5 hours. As just this is probably going to be trying to do some math in my head. That would probably be a day and a half, maybe 2 days of running it. And if I don't open up the chest freezer, and if I only open up the refrigerator, I go, okay, I know what I'm going to grab. Open, grab, slam.
Did you find it there, Doris?
Yep. No, I didn't find the store, but I brought up the 2 battery banks that I bought over at the truck stops. These are probably not any good, but
hang on, let me make you big.
Like I said, I'm eventually going to see about doing like an unboxing video for these, but I picked these up
150 watts.
Yeah, like I said, they're real small, but I figure something like this, I should be able to power like my electric cooler, or power my laptop, or use one as like maybe an uninterruptible power supply for like my internet modem.
Hours.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way: that the 150 watt hour ones like that will run as CPAP for 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
I know, because I had it at scout camp. I ran it the one night. Ran it, I slept 7 hours the one night. Forgot to go charge it up, and so I got 3 hours of sleep before it cut off. And
Yeah.
I just spent the rest of the night awake then after that, tending the fire.
Like I said, I have no idea. Like Power Drive is typically something that is a brand I see at the truck stops. It doesn't matter if it's Love's, doesn't matter if it's Pilot, Flying J, or
TNA, whatever they all got.
Yeah. They, like I said, I'm gonna see if those are any good. Like I said, they were on clearance. Typically, they were $150, but I got them for $75 a piece. But like I said, I didn't spend any money because I saved up my fuel rewards points for them.
Yeah,
there you go. Buy gas, get stuff.
Yeah, so I looked up pure sine wave inverters because of what Bushcraft Family said. I'm trying to remember how much I paid for these 4 batteries. I think there was $150 or something like that because they were on sale. Gunslinger Outdoors clued me into that. So yeah, so I could probably get a 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter here for $250. Get 4 more batteries, so I have 8 batteries, and I'll have something that's going to last a lot longer than the others. But yeah, you can shop around. But remember, if you're going to build your own, all right, this says 3,000 watt. I'm going to open this up in a new one. I'm going to look at a couple of these here so I can compare them here. So this is, let's say on it, pure sine. It's not saying. All right, come on. I hate it when they don't say with the surge on it. That 3,000 maybe. That 3,000 maybe the surge.
Yeah, probably. It's probably 2,400 run.
Yeah.
Surge. Yeah.
All right. So if it's, let me look at the other one here. This one here doesn't say what the surge on it is either.
It's not in the description.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm looking down everywhere. It doesn't say what the surge is on it. No, it says 2,000 continuous. So that's 2,000 continuous. So on this one here, I would not put more than 1,000 watts on it.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
if you put 2,000 watts on it, that sucker's going to get hot. I don't care if the fans are blowing in there. It's going to get hot, and the electronics in there are going to start to degrade.
Yeah.
So if you put only 1,000 watts on it, it's going to get warm, but it's not going to get hot.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so that's like,
What would you say the general rule of thumb? Because like I said, I know I've popped in and out of a few streams in the past, but would you say the general rule of thumb is what, 1/3?
I would say,
60%.
50% continuous run. Max 50% if you want it to last.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything, if you have anything that has a motor on it as well, I would take it down to 1/3. So I would go, a 1/3 or less than half, definitely, because it's going to surge and that's going to help heat it up and it's going to put stress on it. So, yeah, you got different ones on here. Where's the big bad boy? Where's the big bad boy? There you go.
5,000 watt one.
They got the 5,000 watt one too, but they got the 4,000 pure sine wave, which is a monster. $200. That's a monster.
Who makes it though?
Yeah, it's
Sunwell.
Land of the Red Dragon.
Chinese. Yeah.
I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say Land of the Red Dragon. But there are
that's the same as Harbor Freight stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some around, and I'd have to go back and talk to either Ben, Minuteman Prep, or Reed from Manifestations of Imaginations, now known as Reed In. He had a bunch of them stuff, and he had a 5,000 watt one that had 240 on it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So once you start getting up into the 5,000 watt ones, see if I find one at 4,000. Yeah. Yeah, they're not showing any the big months, over 4,000 watts right now. But the 5,000 watt ones were. Let me put that up there. Here we go. 5,000 watt plus. And see what they throw up here. So here's your pure 5,000 watt one here. That is 120. They're still going down to. Yeah, they're not. Oh, here you go. 5,000 watt, 10,000 watt peak surge. So that one's built a little bit tougher since it has such a huge on it. I'm looking at these. These are all still hanging on, 120 volts, not going up to 240. But if you need to go 240 for something,
it's not very many things that run on 240 unless we're talking like electric dryers, electric stoves.
Electric dryers, electric stoves, the electric water heaters, which California is going to. Southern California, you cannot get gas into new construction. You're getting up to the other ones here. So this one has 120 and 240 for $400, 3,500 split phase, 4,000 watt split phase. So you're looking for a split phase if you're going to have that. But split phase has the other bonuses is that your house is split phase. No matter what, if you got two legs or two phases coming in on your house for the power, if you have just single phase, you can only power one side or the other. If you're looking to do more. So, oh, baby. 8,000 watt split phase, $1,500. But so you didn't need to get a split phase and get the special lockouts breakers set up so that you turn the main power off, you push it up, you turn the other power on, and you can't turn the main power back on. And that way you're separated from it until you see other people's lights come on. Then you go ahead and you turn yours off, turn your unit off, and then you turn the main power back on. But split phase, you don't have to do any special wiring other than putting in a breaker, a double breaker, and an inlet power plug receptacle. But like you see, the prices on these, other than that monster one here for $1,500. Without power both sides of your house, and you build up your you can probably like using that. You can build up a battery bank system yourself, nickel and dime at a time. Buy pair of batteries here, pair of batteries there, and build up to it.
That's probably how I'd do it if I was had a house to go off grid with. Like I said, I think I would try to build it up slowly at a time because, like I said, I know. Batteries, I mean, aside from the inverter itself, like I know the batteries is going to be a huge investment. I mean, I just got done dropping like $300 on that gel cell battery on the pickup truck.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was more than that. I think it was like $400 or $500 now that I think about it. Sorry.
Gel cell, I picked up a AGM battery for my solar thing. That was like $350.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the interlock? All right. When I talked about the interlock disconnect, this is what one of them looks like. They got several different models. So that's what it looks like, and it gets installed like that. so that right now the generator can't be turned on because the main breaker is on. But when you turn the main breaker off, then you lift that up, and then you can turn the generator breaker on, and you can't backfeed to the power company. It locks it out, and that is a neat little system. Yeah. And that's that's the system Ben Gilmore has on his house, and he's always taking it off grid to test the power stations.
Yeah. Okay, Gil, I just want to say good night to everybody. My time's up. It's way past my bedtime, and I just wanted to say thanks very much, Gil, for having us on tonight, and great talking to you guys. And
good night,
good seeing you.
Love.
Good to see you all, and God bless to everybody in the chat and on the show. And take care, guys. Whatever you're doing, be careful. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless everybody. And we've got the victory, guys. Just say Goliath is already down.
Yeah.
Amen. Have a good night, guys. God bless you.
Tell Shadow and PV and all them I said hi. Like I said, I'm not avoiding them. I've just been busy.
Okay, Dawes. No problem. Good to see you, my brother.
We believe you. Just kidding.
All right.
Good night, all.
Good night.
All right, good night. Ferocious has come in, and so going back to what Bush guys said, make sure you're using the same battery or ones that or same type batteries that will work together.
Yeah, don't mix it. Don't mix gel and a lead acid. That's not
and don't mix gel, lead acid,
AGM,
iron, lithium, phosphate, and lithium, whatever heck the other one is. Yeah, you don't want to mix those all up.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm gonna be, I maybe it's the side of me, like I said, I don't consider myself to be OCD, but I think I might be have some OCD tendencies, but I think it would bother me if I had a whole bunch of batteries that were not the same.
All right. Okay, so Lee, is that your locality you're talking about?
Probably,
yeah. He probably just copied and pasted it from his alert there. Yeah, so power. Back in the day, in the late 70s and early 80s, my parents' house had, in the front room, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 15 wall-mounted oil lamps.
Dang.
And then I had 3
oil or gas, because we had
oil, lamp oil,
natural gas in the walls for all the lamps.
No, this was oil lamps. And then 3 of those nice fancy glass ones that would sit on a desk that my brother had given me for Christmas and stuff. And so I had them all at my parents' house there. When the power went out, they all got lit up. And the one of the desk ones went in the bathroom. The other one went in my parents' bedroom up on one of the dressers up high. And the other one stayed in the kitchen. And, to us, all right, power's out. Okay. All right. Just make sure the wind-up clock is working in the morning so your father can get up and go to work. And, it was all, we had some all-night ones there in California. And back then, it wasn't a big deal because we didn't have this crap.
Yeah.
When the power was out, and everything it'd be like my brother and his family called it. All right, power's out. How's it going over there? Oh yeah, I'm trying to keep the kids out of the refrigerator. Well, bring them on over here, and we'll keep them out of the fridge here. And we can play cards, and we play Pinochle or Oh Hell, or we actually play Monopoly sometimes. Yep. Yeah, and so it was like, nobody's going through social media withdrawal
by candlelight, or Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to us it was like, hey, no big deal. Granted, oh, we're gonna miss the TV show tonight. Oh well.
The couple times that I remember we had massive power outages out there in Colorado, like it says, like 20 years ago. School was also canceled, and that was just because, we had certified blizzards blowing in, and when everything's said and done, we got like 14-foot tall snowdrifts going up over the roof of the pole barn and going up over the roof of the double wide house. And like I said, it was certified and it was legit. It was pretty cool. It's cool as a kid, growing up.
Oh, someone got a second ad. I think I corrected the problem with the because last night we got so many ads in the live stream last night. I went in before and checked, and sure enough, they've changed the ad settings on my Gray Man channel as well as the Camp Patent. So I went in and I changed stuff back. So interesting. So yeah, I mean, last night it was bad. Every 6 minutes, people were getting ads.
Yeah, that's what happens to me whenever I'm watching John at the Prepared Mind channel. He'll sometimes ads without warning come up while I'm trying to watch his live stream. I think I've even had that happen while I was watching Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Steve's live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's streaming right now. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's going to do 2 hours, so he's just got a little over another hour to go.
Try it. I'll row my way in there in a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you to mitigate the problems of power outages, you got to figure out what do you really need that power to. For me, it's the refrigerator, the chest freezer in the wintertime. The inside chest freezer, the outside chest freezer is sub-zero. So I have a refrigerator and freezer, and I got my CPAP. Well, I've used my Kodiak to keep the refrigerator cold when the power was out for 8 hours. I go over, plug it in for half an hour, and unplug it. I had my small 400 watt hour Goal Zero. That now run my CPAP for a couple of days. I think I can do 4 days, maybe 5 days on it. And so the only thing I need to do really is I really want to get one of those. Let me see if it's still up here. Where is it here? Hang. Lost where it was. Anyways, that one of those Opus ones. I really want to get the Opus Mega 2 because that'll run everything in this house. I can run everything in the house I need to run for 2 days on it.
Okay.
And when the power comes back on, it has a plug-in charger on it, and it will, charge up off the wall. Out now the power's on. I don't have to have solar for it. The other neat thing, if I get it for, is I'll put it under the desk here, and I will run all my computer stuff off of it during the daytime, and it'll have the timer. So at nighttime, when it hits the cheap electricity, then I'll charge it back up.
Oh, okay. I just got a question with some of these power banks. Now, like I said, I don't expect much out of these two that I bought because, like I said, they're like $50 ones. But these power banks, some of them, are they able to charge while you've got stuff plugged in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some do.
My Jackery does. If I did that today. I ran the generator, plugged in the charger, left the ceiling fan because I got my cabin wired with it's a suicide plug. Not really. I plugged the cabin into the Jackery, and then I plugged the Jackery into the charger on another circuit. So I'm watching it. It's charging up. I got 158 watts going in and 17 watts going out. So yeah, it'll run So literally, my Jackery is like an unlimited power supply, or whatever they call it, not unlimited, but the universal power supply.
Uninterruptible.
Yeah, uninterruptible. That's it. So if the power goes out, like I can run my computer off of it all the time while it's plugged in. It'll stay at 100%. And if the power goes out, my computer still gets power.
Yeah. There are some of them out there, and Ben has a chart with all the ones, and he has you look down and everybody else is green. Here's this red square on the spreadsheet that no, you can't run while it's charging.
Yeah, some of them,
yeah.
Because I like I said, I'd be interested in getting a few of them and setting them up as uninterruptible power supplies around the house. Yeah. What am I going to power off them? I don't know. I mean, I guess mostly just luxury items because really, oh man, if the power goes out, oh no, what am I going to do? I don't know. Yeah. It's just like, it's not a huge, it's not critical.
My hair dryer may not run. Wait,
yeah.
Try tell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like, I guess I'd just be running things that'd be nice to have, but not necessarily need, like, make sure my internet doesn't get interrupted and, maybe have my laptop or something like that. It's probably about it.
Yeah. What I really want to do is, so I want to get like the Mega 2, stick it under the desk here. I want to get another Mega 2, stick it in the kitchen. That way I can plug in the chest freezer and the refrigerator. And if I want to use the microwave, I got plenty of extension cords. I can just run an extension cord over to it.
Yeah. No,
that way I heat stuff up real quick and be done with it.
Microwaves are a huge power draw. Oh my gosh, man!
But yeah, yes, I got the propane cooktop here, so I'm not using the electric oven. I'm not gonna run the dishwasher. Screw that.
Yeah.
And I'll just wait till the power comes on before I have to worry about taking a shower because it's an electric water heater, and of course it keeps the water hot. So it has a timer on that electric water heater. It only runs from 10 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. So when it has power to it, as an intermagnetic timer on it, and it turns off during the high price time, and it turns it back on. And so it's been off since 7 o'clock this morning. I ran the dishwasher. I could probably go take a shower and still go in there and take a shower and have hot to warm water.
Tepid.
Yes, I have an on-demand gas water heater.
Yeah.
And no pilot, nothing. So it doesn't do anything until I turn it on. Yeah, you get the little blast of cold water coming through. If you shut it off and turn it on, you get a blast of cold water coming through. But that thing saved me so much money with 3 daughters that, it must, I'd be like, how long does it take to shave your legs? You've been in the shower for an hour and a half.
My youngest son was in we had a 75-gallon gas water heater.
Oh my gosh.
All right. He was in the shower till it ran cold one time. And it, so as soon as it starts using it, it kicks on. Anyways, it starts reheating water once you use about a quarter of the water. He ran it till it was cold one time. Oh, water's cold. You've been in there for 2.5 hours. No, I haven't. It is this time. What? Shit, I'm late for work.
Yeah, I remember my older sister when she was a teenager. I remember my dad. This is back when we were living in a 3-bedroom house with a single bathroom.
Yeah.
My dad kept telling my sister, he went out there and shut the water off because
he warned her.
Yep.
He shut the hot water off, not the cold.
Yeah, not the cold.
Shut the hot water off. All of a sudden, you're screaming, and you hear his voice right below you going.
Yeah, no, like I said, I still remember the story. Yeah, I still remember the story to this day because, my dad had warned my older sister multiple times. Hey, you've been in the shower way too long. You need to get out of there. So the rest of us go use use the bathroom. She wasn't listening, being her teenage self. So, like I said, he went outside to the water shut off. shut the hot water off, walked back in, waited, probably about a minute, and all of a sudden you hear, panicking, and they're like, not like, her, freaking out, but
oh, come on.
But you can hear her like quickly trying to shut the valves off, for the shower.
I had shampoo in my hair. For an hour and a half, you had shampoo in your hair? Really? What's the last thing I do? It's like, what was the first thing you did? Stand there and run it for an hour? Okay.
Yeah. That's, all these things pertain is, what are you going to do when the power's out?
Yeah.
And then we've talked about
bucket of hot water.
Yeah.
Use whatever you want, because when it's gone, it's gone.
And so far, everything has been considered it's going to be a short, couple days, a week possibly. Old school prepper in Oregon, Martha, they were without power for a month because the winter storm took out the lines coming down out of the city to the rural area, and then since they were out rural, they were the last ones to get fixed.
I believe it. I really do. Like I said, it can get pretty bad, and then especially if they're having to traverse over the mountains, the line crews, that is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I believe it. I really do. And then, I remember moving out to Missouri because, like I said, I lived out in Missouri for 3.5 years. Out there, I mean, we were far enough south. Yeah, we did get snow. We did get quite a bit snow here and there, but we'd also get some warm winters, which would result in freezing rain, and they get some nasty, nasty ice storms. And I remember them telling me, the kids over there at that school telling me when I moved down there, because like I said, I was in middle school when I was living down there. They're saying the ice storm they had last year, it knocked out the power. We didn't have power for over a week. And it was like, dang. It's I've only dealt with not having power for a day, maybe 2 days.
Yeah, that's what I have, a travel trailer that had malfunction out there. They had the ancient gray, not hex pipe in it, and it.
Oh yeah, the original plastic stuff that was causing cancer. Yeah.
Anyways, we're thinking about fixing it up just as a outdoor spare bedroom for one of the boys, so he doesn't have to be in the house and put up with mom and dad.
Get out. There's your apartment. Go away.
Yeah. And so we would put we would replace that little tank hot water heater with a on-demand tank. But the thing is, so we talk short times. What happens if now we're going to the other end of the scale? We just got an X25 long duration solar flare throwing a mega CME at the Earth, and so you're going to kiss. Your pocket battery powered pocket calculator may not work anymore.
Yeah,
the old school ones. So there may be no electricity. What are you going to do then?
I have an Abacus. It works fine.
Yeah, my thing is, and I've talked about this on Mondays with you, Mark, is can everything that's in the freezer beforehand. You start canning immediately, and
you still got propane. The power's out. You better start processing everything.
Yeah, it's like you hear, oh, okay. Usually we have all right. We got a day and a half before it gets here. I'm going to go down and see if I can pick up a 500-gallon propane tank on a trailer.
My question is, I mean, like I said, you might, and like I said, maybe I'm just asking, just asking it just to ask it, and might not get an answer either way. Would our government really actually warn us? Legit warn us?
It's not going to be the government warning us. It's going to be all the others
The
that
private
have
tier.
the private ones like Suspicious Observers, now known as spaceweather.com, who record what's going on the satellites. So when there's a problem, if there is a problem, they can still review their stuff and go, okay, here it comes. Oh man, that is a mother monster one coming at us, folks.
We're screwed, guys. We're done. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah. And so they'll be putting it out there on the internet, and all you need is one or two of them put it out on the internet, showing what's going on, and people are going to be downloading those videos instantly and resharing them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will spread like wildfire, and especially if someone says this is an X-25 solar flare, long duration, it's going to put the Carrington event to shame.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to know about it.
Yeah, I was going to say Carrington event version 2.0.
Yeah. And so, however, on the flip side on this, going back to the trailers, replacing that propane heater with an on-demand one, the refrigerator in there is a 3-power refrigerator. It takes 120 volts, it takes 12 volts, or uses propane to cool. Yeah. So that will be worth its money in gold for. It's a small one. It will be worth its money in gold. I've talked to the wife about possibly picking up a bigger one that we can use in case of an emergency. She says, let me think about it. I will get back to you when I've thought about it. But yeah, so if you're worried about that, and that's one way to go. Now, he's been on here before. Hidden Valley Homestead. My brother from another mother. He's up in northern Idaho, and he's been totally off grid. 2 years now, 2.5 years. He just replaced his batteries that were original when he bought the house that were in there from before, and he's added more solar panels. He's got Elon Musk's
Tesla batteries,
Starlink, or whatever it is.
Starlink, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and he has a decent sized propane tank. He would like to get a bigger propane tank just for emergencies. If we have a quote, technology killer CME coming where all electrical stuff is dead.
Yeah.
I am not advocating this at all in the least. I am not planning on it. I know where there's where they have the big 10,000 gallon tank propane trailers.
Yeah, propane.
My family comes first.
Yeah, yeah, no, that absolutely. And as the saying goes, all is fair in love and war, and I would consider that a form of war
survival.
Yeah, it's.
I know where there's a whole bunch of single axle Generac diesel generators hooked up to certain things scattered around the county.
Well, and back in California, I know where there are 4 huge Caterpillar generator sets that have a 250 gallon tank built into it that you pick the whole thing up, it goes on a truck and stuff.
I live 12 miles away from the new FEMA center. That where it's nothing but Caterpillar, like they are 40-foot containers, 20-foot containers, all these cells, and I'm taking pictures and looking up these numbers on these things. Oh yeah, they're just diesel tanks.
Here's the thing: these diesel generators, will fit inside my all steel cargo containers.
Yeah. Well, they are a cargo container, the ones I'm seeing. So
yeah, well, you want something smaller that you can stick inside another cargo container, and
So
insulate it from the floor.
A nested Faraday cage.
Sort of, yeah. To try to limit the thing. And if that generator should happen to survive, you are now king of your county.
Yeah, and if it also happens to have one of those locating chips built into it, like Caterpillar does to everything now.
No, these are old ones. These are old school ones.
Radar.
Yeah, these are old school ones belonging to a certain construction company I used to work for, and they have a 110, 220, and 463 phase.
Yeah. And if they steal it, they can watch it get on its ship and get unloaded over in the Middle East somewhere and go, hey, I found my generator. It's over in.
Yeah. Well, these are pre-1990 generators, and they are still working fine. They take excellent care of them because I know the mechanics. So I used to work there and help the mechanics. So
those are probably Cat 3406s or Cat 3408s.
Bigger.
They're not bigger than 3408s.
These things are what's in a semi truck, the big semi truck, and they have turbos on them.
Well, I was going to say the old Kenworths, the old Peterbilts, the old, General Motors trucks back when they made them. I mean, they came with 3406s or 3408s.
Yeah, we had a 3208 in our fuel truck, and that's small compared. Yeah, that's really small.
That was that was Caterpillar's first throwaway engine that they ever made.
Yeah, and that's what the mechanic calls it. Yeah, these are throwaway engines. We call them garbage truck engines because you put it in a garbage truck, you run it till the engine's dead, you pull the engine out, throw another one in, the garbage truck's back on the road the next day.
Yeah, because they're designed in such a way that the cylinder bores are not sleeved, so you can't replace the sleeves or anything because there are no sleeves to replace it with.
Yeah, but and the thing is, so if I were to find one of those in time to get it, I'd be crossing my fingers and toes that it survives the EMP in that cargo container. It may not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, one of the things I would be doing is any power station I have, I'm going to be wrapping that sucker up in 6-7 layers of Mylar blankets.
Yeah.
And then putting that in a plastic garbage can and sealing that up.
And then in a 55-gallon metal drum and sealing that up.
I don't have a 55-gallon drum to put it into, but I do have another, a couple plastic full top removal 55-gallon drums. I didn't think about those.
I thought you needed metal to travel the pulse from top to ground, not plastic. Plastic will just blow right through it.
Yeah, but because I will need to have one of my or more of my power stations to survive enough, so I have to be able to use my CPAP. But one thing here, just to wrap up on here a little bit here. If we get hit with something like that and the grid is down, period, the government calculation, which is flawed, is for 85 to 90% fatality rate by 1 year's end.
Yeah.
It is probably going to be closer to 90 to 95%.
It depends on what part of the country, but yeah.
Yeah,
the country as a whole, the population as a whole. Yeah, some areas are going to be good, other areas are going to be 100%
wiped out. Yeah, like I said, I figure it's going to be about 90% because that's what all the talking heads. Even William R. Forstchen discussed it in his 1 Second After book. Now, Grant, that was not a CME, that was an EMP weapon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the way the government took their calculation is, all right, back in the early 1800s, when we didn't have any electricity, prior to electricity, what was the population support of the United States? Oh, okay, 30 million. All right, that's what we're going to gauge it as, and everybody else is going to die. However, the problem is that 30 million that we have surviving don't know how to survive without electricity.
Yeah. Well, they don't know and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know the old techniques either. You know, they don't know old farming techniques. They don't know proper animal husbandry. Look, like I said, I'm lacking on a lot of this stuff that I'm listing off right now. And the only thing that's probably going to keep me alive marginally longer than my neighbors is the stuff that I already stockpiled up. And that's assuming I don't get raided.
Yeah. This is where having books, that's why I say every video at the end, learn a new skill. Or I should start saying, learn an old skill. Old school, newly learn an old school skill.
Learn an old school learn an old skill that's new to you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Animal husbandry. How to properly butcher animals. There are books out there on this. Learn how to build a gasifier. There's lots of plans out there for a gasifier. If you have a gasifier, you can find an old, like a 1960 or 1950s car generator. There's a good chance that generator is still functional.
Yeah.
But the points and condenser will be fried. The voltage regulator will be fried, but the generator will still be working. And if you can come up with you know how to build a gasifier, you can take an old engine, you can rebuild stuff, just turn it into like a steam engine, and then you're using the generator to create 12-volt power.
Yeah.
And he who has power first has a chance to become, Lord of the realm. For if he works at
Lord of the Wasteland.
Yeah, Lord of the Wasteland. No, that's Steve. That's California.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the things to consider is, can you survive a total permanent grid down, not permanent electricity down, permanent grid down. Yeah. Because someone will always figure out, some high school, college professor with electronics, and will figure out how to make a simple electrical motor and find a way to generate power with it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things is to consider is, like for me, I need something to power my CPAP until I lose 60 pounds and I'm back down to 160 pounds. Once I'm back down to 160 pounds, my breathing problem will probably go away because it didn't swing into action until I packed on too much weight. There's going to be certain people that are going to need it for other medical issues, going to need power. If they should happen to survive till someone creates something, they have a chance on surviving. Otherwise, they're part of that 90% that are gone.
Yeah, if you're on dialysis, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, if you I've got family members that are definitely done. I got family members that've got pacemakers. I've got one family member who's had an organ transplant, and he's doing dialysis. He's doubly dead.
Yeah. And it's there. FEMA's old archive PDF library has plans for gasifiers.
Yep.
And some of the plans that were put out by the Department of Agriculture during World War I and World War II. So,
I just realized something totally off topic. I probably should have insulated my floor in the cabin, because under my bed is freezing cold, even though the temperature at 4 feet is 75 to 80 degrees.
Yeah. All right. Here's what now you're going to need to go to that. You're going to need an old skill school to take care of this. Go to the thrift stores, find yourself some rag rugs, where they tie it, you make those nice thick rugs. Toss a couple of those down, on the floor of your cabin.
No, I got to get underneath, but I was like, nah, I don't want to put insulation under there. The mice are going to get in. I'm 2 feet off the ground, so really not that much of a problem.
All right, hang on.
There, put some of that the silver. It's thin, but it's enough to get it done.
You're talking about like the bubble wrap type insulation?
Yeah, it's like it's the stuff they use for like sill plates and that. Get up in there and just staple it up in there, just to keep the cold from emanating up, because my feet are on the floor. I'm in the cabin because it's 25 degrees outside. The fire's not doing it.
All right. So, these cans of stuff.
The foam?
Spanning foam.
Yeah. You spray that on. You can spray up. You can spray sideways. You can spray any which way you want to inside. And that way you just put your Tyvek suit on under there, and you start spraying as you back your way out, and you just coat the whole underside. The mice aren't going to crawl into that like they will fiberglass insulation.
They won't crawl into it. They'll just chew into it.
maybe not. And then, of course, while you're spraying it, if you're throwing a handful of that's why you want to be wearing a respirator, handfuls of
diatomaceous earth.
No. We're going nuclear here. Ground red pepper, the hot, hot pepper. Just start tossing hot peppers under
cayenne.
Cayenne, even hotter stuff if you can find it, and you just toss that at the foam while it's still damp, and stuff will stick to it. I guarantee you the mice aren't going to bug it.
So if I get under there first and spray contact adhesive, and then put some of the dry red pepper in a pump up sprayer with a very large nozzle, so it doesn't clog up. Spray that under it, and then spray it with foam.
No, yes, you want to have the pepper on the outside. You want to have on the outside, on the surface area there, so that they even chew into it. They come in, and they leave. And then you also put some of your lemon balm up there.
Look at the last comment right there. It's like, oh, geez, Gil.
You're going full nuclear on these field mice, the field mice and rats and stuff.
Well, I got chipmunks, squirrels, and mice around here. I know that.
The squirrels. The squirrels we had in California on top of the fence. I went out there one time and I made took some olive oil, put a little bit in a jar, poured in a bunch of the jalapeno pepper, mixed crap that was really hot in the crap that I didn't like. Mixed it all up, took a paintbrush and painted the top of the boards where the squirrels like to run.
Oh, nice.
Until the next rain, they weren't running up there.
Well, they ran up there until they licked their feet to clean off and burn their tongue off. Yeah.
Oh, no, they ran up the first couple feet, and then it's like, they jumped off. Get some feral cats out there.
No, I don't want cats out here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Last thing I need is cats.
But but with you got to think about it. If the power's out, it's not coming back on. Your fridge is gone unless you have saved your power station, and your solar panels are still working. I would say it's going to be 10% of the solar panels will still function if you're lucky. And if you're able to, and it's coming, crap, I'm wrapping everything up, and you actually survive, and you have some that survive, you're going to be heads and tails ahead of everybody else. Otherwise, no refrigerator, no CPAPs, nothing electric, no lights. And if you don't have oil lamps, if you don't have candles, if you don't, and here's the worst part about it is, there's no infrastructure set up to get new wax to you, to get kerosene or lamp oil to you. What you have is gone when it's gone.
Yep.
And the only way around that is, it's happening. and you beeline it to Walmart. You buy up all several carts of candles, and you just keep making trips out to the car, and just till the car is loaded with candles.
Yeah, if assuming that whatever is going down is going down, like I said, it's no power. I got no way of stopping it. I'm probably going to, like you said, I don't advocate stealing, but I'm gonna probably steal the company's truck because I'm not wasting my time giving it back. I'm just gonna use it to drive home. I'm gonna drive straight home because I'm assuming I'm gonna be at work when this is happening. And, I've got a
on my company truck because it's a 22-gallon tank, and if the crap hits the fan over the weekend when I'm off and my truck is sitting in my driveway, I got fuel.
And that's the thing too, is it's like, if you can get certain things beforehand before people think of it, because people are going to be going to gas stations trying to get load cans of gas and stuff. No, I'm going to go in for the long-term stuff. I'm going to be looking for all the wax I can find.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the honey. Certain things I'm going to be going after. And after it happens, I may have to go out and salvage beehives.
Yeah. I'm going to be maxing out my $20,000 Cabela's Club card.
Yeah. That's it. If it's coming, it's going to be one of the first things I'm going to be spending everything on my card, and have my wife spend everything on her card. And if she's still in California when it happens, it's going to be screw that. Get up here now. Just grab the boys, load everything you can in both cars, because Alex doesn't drive yet, in the bigger cars, and just come up here and try to get up here before the CME gets here. And it takes her 12 hours to get up here. So she might make it, even if it's a fast CME, she might make it.
And what'd they say? What's the speed? What's the average speed of an X class?
It varies.
I guess it could vary depending on where the Earth's position is. And
not so much that is the force of the ejection dictates the speed. It could be an X25, long duration, massive one, but it's a slow fart. Or it could be it could be an X20, impulsive, massive throwout. And it's like poof, and it's coming at you like a high-speed rifle.
No faster than the speed of light, supposedly.
Yeah. Well, what's that? 8 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they've clocked them. Some really fast ones have made it from the sun to here in a couple hours. Others have been a day, 2 days.
Yeah, I know we've been hit in the past, even in recent times. When I say recent, I'm using that air quotes loosely, recent, because like the recent ones were like 20 years ago, literally 20 years ago, and because one of the blackouts that happened in the northeastern region of the states, I think they said something. I think it was I think they were saying something about a small CME because I think it affected like Canada and like said the northeastern region of the states, like upstate New York, upstate Pennsylvania.
That was the East Coast blackout we had. Shit.
I think it was a 20. Well, I think that the one I'm talking about, I think happened in 2003. 2004. That was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago, but it's recent enough history, more recent than the 1859 Carrington event.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to look up to see if I can find the right one here if I get the right spaceweather.com. Ben Davis is saying, that the Earth has been hit once this year already, maybe twice this year with a CME.
Yeah,
but it's like a M class, and all of that is M class and low M class, or maybe an X1, and it's from an impulsive one, but it doesn't have a big bumpy. It's just a little, and not a.
Enough to make your AM radio go static for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it just caused little things. Remember last year, there's several times where Twitter went down, Instagram went down, a bunch of them went down for a day, and then one day there was a bunch of problems with the banking systems and stuff. Those were CMEs.
I know I was having issues with my cell service. I don't remember if it was last year, if it was the year prior, but I was having issues with the cell service. But I heard like in some cases it can cause interruptions. In other cases, like with some of the short waves, you can actually propagate a signal a little bit better. Something along those lines, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to, I'm not sure if I got the right space weather one. Maybe I can find, let me go the other way at it here.
If you got a ham radio with an antenna on the roof,
you disconnect it.
I mean, you may want to disconnect that antenna and dump that whole ham radio in a Faraday bag, because that thing's going to suck the power right into it and blow everything.
Not only do you want to disconnect the ham radio from the cable, you want to disconnect the cable from the antenna and roll that cable up, put it in a garbage bag, and put it somewhere else. Let's see here.
I probably should start watching Suspicious Observers a little bit more.
Yeah, well,
I'm subscribed to him, but I haven't watched anything of his in a while.
Yes. All right. It's changed. So he's no longer Suspicious Observers. He finally did the changeover. The YouTube channel is Space Weather News, and it says SO for Suspicious Observers after it. Let me go in and look and see if he's got his link to the
I got him on my channel. I watched
spaceweathernews.com. Okay. Spaceweathernews.com. Okay.
And BP Earthwatch will do it. He'll talk about some things when they're coming.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm subscribed to. I'm gonna just call them Suspicious Observers because that's why I know them as.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, I'm sub to him, but I just need to
here it is.
More regularly.
It's spaceweathernews.com, and and so we've got some changes coming on here, but okay, here, this top one here. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Nah, it's not gonna make it bigger. All right, so I don't know if you can see it here, but right where my cursor is, there is a spike up to an M2 for a solar flare. But that was this morning. So that's supposed to be hitting us in a little bit. So I didn't watch this morning's one, so we should be having something coming. But he has all this information, and but this one here, the GOES X-ray flux shows what the classifications of the solar flares are. And this is as you have your proton streams and your stuff from the blue here on this one here where it flips and breaks. That's part of the proton stream from this departing. That's the solar wind proton stream from this departing corona hole. But lately he's been coming out opening a little bit before 5 o'clock my time, Mountain Time. Usually he used to be after, but this last week he's been like 4:45. He's been posting the morning show.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I watched the first couple minutes. Once he starts getting to the news articles, I'll try to get back to the news articles. I got other things to do. I want to find out if there's something fired at us overnight.
It's just amazing the amount of disruption.
But there's he has a bunch of stuff here on it, and somewhere on his stuff here, I got to find out. I'm going to ask the question on his next live. Say, hey, where do I find the history each year of solar flares that have actually impacted the Earth, the M classes, the low X's, whatever it is, how often do they hit? Are we getting hit by the CMEs, and how I forget what the thing is. Impactful is is what I'm trying to say, but yeah. But if we get hit with the right one, yeah, it's all right. Game over. Pull all the cards in, reshuffle the deck, and deal again.
Yeah.
That's why the people need to have a plan for short-term grid down. Short-term being up, well, I'm calling short-term, a week or less. Moderate short-term, a month
Week
or less.
Yeah, week to a month.
Intermediate, then goes up to 6 months. But you still have news and stuff, but you're without power, but you're hearing, you can use radio and you can do stuff, and you can hear that the government's still functioning and things going on. So that, and they say, yeah, it's going to be 5 months before we get power restored to this area, 3 months to this area, 6 months to that area. Power is going to be restored, but you're going to be down for however many months for that is. And along with this is something most people don't think about, is, and people are going to hate this, is, hey, you got to eliminate, what's the word I want to, I'm using, fluff stuff. Going out partying with beer. I know everybody a lot of people like their beer. Cut the beer out. Don't save the money. Cut out your tobacco. Save the money. Get your house paid off. Get that deed in the hand.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have someone to have 6 months later the bank coming. Oh, you haven't made payments the last 6 months. We're foreclosing on your property.
Yeah. Ironically, some of the other channels I'm sub to, they don't have anything to do with prepping. They're actually men's channels.
Yeah.
Custom tailored for men. But one of the guys that I listen to, he advocates so strongly about minimalism. Like he's like a minimalism god, essentially. That's all he ever talks about. Not buying fancy shit, not going out and get the latest and greatest whatever. He's like, and always talking about trying to pay cash, because he's a former. I think I know he used to work in a bank at one point in time. He's a he's a, what do they call it, an economic analyst.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words.
Yeah. Diana 2. This is it. Hidden Valley Homestead. And that's Scott. And he's a former operating engineer. He did time as a lot working just like I did. And he also worked for his father-in-law's upholstery company for a while. So that's Scott, and it's Hidden Valley Homes. That's the icon, HVH. So you find him. It's Scott and Olivia Palmer. So, there is even the ones that are off grid, like Scott, if he doesn't get a warning of a CME, he may be up the poop creek, because if he loses if his electrical grid system from his solar panels doesn't resist the CME right, he could lose everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a firm believer in disconnects.
Yeah.
You have your solar panels, you have your disconnects out there, whether it's a switch or whether it's a total mechanical unplug it, which I think is the better way, because a switch you can still arc across.
Yeah.
And then you unplug that cable and where it goes into the house, and then you disconnect. You have time. You start disconnecting your batteries and taking all the cables off your batteries, putting it in a box off to the side, so the batteries are separate. A battery sitting there by itself will not be impacted by a CME. The EMP from a CME, because there's no connection. There's not a circuit loop at all. It's open. It's like a piece of wire laying on the ground. Of course, you may pick up that piece of wire and get a little, what the heck, like static electricity type shock. Yeah. But yeah, there are things to worry about. If you are off grid, you got to have a plan in place to secure your off grid electricity stuff so you don't get nailed.
Yeah. And I heard, like I said, again, I don't know which of the classes of solar flares this falls under, but something along the lines of the CME has got to be able to couple with something that spans like 300 feet or greater because of the size of the wave, something along those lines.
It depends. All right. The way that works is when the CME hits the Earth, it actually travels to the North and South Pole and comes down through the poles to create the EMP, and then it spreads out around the Earth. The EMP is not a, oh, it's over, it's done, I can get stuff out now. No. The Carrington event lasted for days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it said something like a week or something like that, and they had issues with people waking up in the middle of the night, thinking it's daytime because of the northern lights.
We're people, so bright.
Yeah, people that never seen it before, never seen the aurora borealis, are seeing it in places clear down to the south.
Yeah, and so when the electromagnetic pulse comes, it depends on the strength of the CME and the force it comes into the magnetosphere and all the other ionospheres and everything else, and to what frequencies of an electromagnetic pulse gets generated.
Yeah.
They can't say, oh, this CME is going to generate this pulse. They don't know.
Yeah.
Until it actually interacts. And when it does, you may need something that has 300 feet of wire for it to do anything. You may only need 12 feet of wire.
And sadly,
you may only need 6 feet of wire.
Yeah, sadly, like I said, a lot of the information we have, and we could even argue this about EMPs too. A lot of this stuff, a lot of the information we have is purely just theoretical because we won't know until something like this actually does happen.
Yeah. Well, it's mathematical, but we don't have all the parts of the equation to figure out the math. We know the formula, we just don't know the values.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to make it so hard. They may say, it's like, all right, last year's was it May 24th? He was talking about, or was it March 24th? It was they were saying, it's nothing, it's just a small CME, it's not going to do anything. It took out crap all over the place temporarily. The northern lights were seen down in Mexico, and it was like, this should not have happened.
Yeah,
because they didn't have know exactly what was coming.
The values, like you said, coming in.
The values and stuff. Plus, this is what everybody, most of the, I don't want to call them, I don't want to group all scientists together. Most of the stubborn book scientists, we know this. It's been this way for years. Your news information is false. It's heresy.
They got tunnel vision.
Yeah, the North Pole and the South Pole are moving.
Yeah,
and they actually cut the information off last year, and it showed the strength of the decline of the electromagnetic field around the Earth is dropping dramatically. It's going like this, and all of a sudden, and it's going down.
Yeah.
The weaker that is, the stronger the effects of this CMEs are in the northern lights being seen farther, magnetic generation, because it's not protecting the Earth.
Yeah.
And so that is going to be.
There are other people that discuss this in depth and length as well. Unfortunately, that one guy over there on the Die-Hold Foundation channel, he passed away a little over a year ago. But I swear to God, him and Suspicious Observers, they were talking nearly about almost the exact same thing. I think Die-Hold Foundation, he was a little bit more grim in his assessment because at least Suspicious Observers, he kind of gave you at a minimum a false sense of hope that, well, there's going to be some survival. But like I said, both of them, and even Ice Age Farmer, they talked about with the weakening of the Earth's magnetosphere, and with some of the solar the uptick in solar activity. This is usually about the time when the pole reversal starts.
Yeah, and that's what Ben says. We are in. It's moving, and it's speeding up. Like today was faster than yesterday. Yesterday was way, so it's like the plane has lost its engine.
Yeah.
All right, and how long that's going to be? He's targeting mid 2030s.
Oh, Suspicious Observers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Die-Hold Foundation
was to mid 2040s.
Yeah, Die-Hold Foundation put it firmly on like mid 2040s, like 2046.
Yeah, and so so if you want to have any sort of electricity or something, you need to start planning. Don't go broke on it, guys. Yeah. Do not spend a ton of money on it.
Because it might not work anyway.
Yeah, and so there are ways. There are Faraday bags you can buy to store stuff in. Layers are better than single.
Yeah, a nested Faraday cage.
Yeah, and you can buy the blue water barrels and the white water barrels that are basically it doesn't just have bungholes in it. The whole top pops off, and it's got a rubber gasket around it to make it absolutely airtight. And you put stuff inside of that, and you put, what I would do is cut a circle of plywood, put it in the bottom, then I put something else, and then start piling stuff in on top of that. That gives you another layer of insulation. And then doesn't
plastic generate static?
If it's rub, but the thing is that once you have the plastic done, then before you put the lid on it, you get yourself some silicone caulking. You just put a thin bead around there to mesh with the silicone gasket in it, so it squishes, so to make sure it's sealed. Once it's sealed, outside, inside are blocked.
Okay, so you're just talking purely about just the insulating value for the from any static discharge. Because like the shield is not complete until you have a metallic outer layer.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you put the you have stuff in the Mylar bags and stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
I never heard about plastic barrels because, like I said, plastic. I don't care. I mean, it generates static. You don't have to rub it. But it's gonna get static, and unless you ground it. But I've always heard a metal barrel, garbage can, fully sealed, 100%.
Yeah.
Where metal full surround, ground it, so that way when the EMP hits the metal,
do not ground it. Do not ground it.
Well, it goes around the outside and into the ground and doesn't.
No. That increases the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to have it insulated from the ground.
Okay,
that way it's not making a current there, because they're saying that some of the flow will be through the ground, and if you have your barrel insulated to the ground, it's going to flow through the ground and it's going to come up and try to do something with your barrel. All right, so here's my plan. I got a 55-gallon plastic barrel about for a super insulation. Inside of that, I'm going to put a piece of wood on the floor. I'm going to get a 30-gallon steel barrel. I'm going to coat the inside of the steel barrel with flex coat or any other type of rubber spray.
Yep.
I'm going to put on the bottom a piece of wood on the bottom so it doesn't scratch and break the thing. Put that inside. I'll fill that up with my my Faraday bags for all my electronics and stuff I'm going to want and need to have. And then I'm going to seal the barrel. I'm going to make sure to put the silicone on the gasket to make sure that's totally sealed. Then I'm going to seal the 55-gallon barrel. And if I get one of these 100-gallon military water barrels, then I'll put that plastic one inside of that. Guaranteed, any stuff in there is going to survive.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of stuff to go through and try to get done in time for. Oh crap! We got 5 hours. We got 5 more hours before it gets here.
Yeah. But like I said, I was told, and like I said, this even goes for EMP, protection. The best method is a nested Faraday cage, and I'm sure you know what it is, but just to explain it for elementary level, just for anybody who happens to watch the replay, it's when you've got a Faraday cage tucked away inside of another Faraday cage that is called a nested Faraday cage.
And
they're not touching each other.
Yeah, they're not. The metallic portions aren't touching each other, and they're insulated from one another.
Yeah, let me see. I just lost it. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, so I'm going to drop the link to a. Come on, let's go. There we go. Well, that's the long link. Okay, I can fit the long link in here. There you go. PortablePoweredSolar.com. That's this page. Let's see. Shop Solar. Is it there or is it elsewhere? I will check Shop Solar. This is stuff that Ben sells through his place. Does he have? Oh, there we go. There's your Faraday bags. So you can take a Faraday bag. Say you have a laptop. You have the laptop in the 16 by 18 here. You can take that one. You can wrap it with some cloth or whatever, or you can just stick it straight into the 20 by 30.
Yeah, now you don't need to put that in a plastic barrel, in a metal barrel, in another metal barrel. I mean, Faraday bags work. Period. I know because I watched them do it at one.
They work. You can take the small one here, put a radio in it, put it in a microwave, and take it out, and the microwave the radio will still work. Right. However, that's a certain strength. If we're getting something from like the Carrington event, which is going to be a lot more potent, it may overpower a Faraday bag.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
And that's a gamble I don't want to take. $20 and $24 to ensure that my my $500 laptop with all my data on it is doubly protected.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
There's an event that like totally cooks the grid and everything, but you saved your laptop with all your data on it. And then now you'll have power for a while with your grid and stuff. What are you going to do with that except be able to just read it? It's not like you can put it up on the internet.
No, here's what I'll do with it. I will also have the a couple of the bags with a printer in it.
Hey.
And that way, hey, Denier, how's it going?
He's watching both streams.
Yeah,
I'm sort of doing the same thing.
I am too.
That way, after everything else is fried, I'll wait a month. I will then pull it out. And okay, what do I need? What do I need to print off now? Because I also want to have this stuff portable if I need to be boogie. So I don't want to have, 500 pounds of books to try to move.
Yeah.
And so I will start printing up. Okay, gasifier. I want to print off the stuff for a gasifier. I have some books that will already be printed in here that I will abandon if I have to leave. But now I can print off the stuff I don't have books on and stuff that I've only been able to get the PDFs of, because some cool guide found this ancient instructions on how to build gasifiers and this and the other and everything else, and he scanned it all and put it in a PDF for everybody. And so I got a copy of it. So now I can take that and print it out, and I can build it. And then once I have the stuff printed out, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pack the laptop back up, the printer back up, and put it back in there, because one of the guys I was following in his books and stuff decided to throw a monkey wrench at everybody. And 3 months after the first CME hit, the sun farted again.
Yeah.
And they lost all the stuff they had locked up and they had out again. Then they lost it. And then they're even farther behind the 8 ball now.
Again, like I said, this one's, again, EMP similar, but like I said, usually it's just a localized, it usually only affects a local area through line of sight. But, again, I'm going to go resort back to talking about 1 second after, and was it the third book? They were talking, after, the small societies they were rebuilding and using hydroelectric power and just barely starting to get back online. The powers that be in that book were talking about detonating a second EMP.
Yeah.
They didn't like that. Nobody. So again, same thing, same deal.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, if I'm going to be, I'm probably not going to, I may generate enough to have small amount of power, minimal to keep my stuff going inside my house in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not going to go out to try to build something bigger for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait till after the die off. I'm going to wait till after the someone tries to become a warlord and everybody else rebels against him. And now we're a couple of years down the road and people are pulling their heads out of the butt. Okay, we need to get together to survive. And then try to put stuff up. Thing is, so with the sun issue on it, the sun CME creating the EMP, there's been back-to-back events, a month apart, where there have been two big CMEs, and fortunately, those went off the other way, 180 degrees away from the Earth. Yeah. A year and a half ago, if those had been facing Earth, we wouldn't be talking. We would be in that situation already.
Yeah.
So speaking about carrier pigeons, no, just kidding.
I guess this, I guess if I know that something's coming and there's nothing I can do about it to stop it, I guess this would probably be a good time to not only get all the weapons out, get them out of the locker, but detach anything electronic on them, whether it be a red dot or whether it be some sort of laser or some sort of flashlight. I've all I got is flashlights on mine. I'm too poor to afford lasers or freaking afford a red dot or anything like that. But like iron sights, man, iron sights all the way for me. I know somebody.
If you can't learn how to use your toy with iron sights first, I don't care what you got. You can buy the $8,000 scope on there.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to sight it in or even use it or breathe, I don't care. I got iron sights.
So like I said, if I hypothetically speaking, if I know something's coming, I guess I'm going to take all the weapons lights off of all the weapons. I don't want to be sitting there focusing about guns, but that's something that I thought about.
It's one of the things is you have that's where it's like I keep saying, have a plan, write stuff down. So it's crap. Okay, this is oh shit time. Pull out the book. Okay, we're doing this, and this, babe. Take care of this, and this. Junior, do this, and this. And you start getting stuff done as fast as possible.
One of the things I would like to keep running, if I can, is my old pickup truck. But I have a feeling that if things are as bad as they say it's going to be, it won't matter. But again,
I can answer that for you. What year is the truck?
1988.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because does it have electronic ignition on it yet?
Yeah, but I've got a spare ignition control module.
The problem is the amount of wire on the 80s pickups.
Yeah.
I really would like to get hold of, track down wherever my friend Gary went to and get my 1965 Dodge 1-ton Power Wagon back.
Yeah.
Let's see, the amount of wiring on it, 10 feet.
Yeah.
You know, from the engine to the ignition switch to my battery shut off, my battery back to it. I mean, it's like
all the way to the taillights.
Well, I'm not talking taillights. I ain't worried about taillights. I'm worried about ignition wiring.
You're not worried about being DOT compliant?
No, hey, I would be taking the light bulbs out of them anyways. I would be taking the light bulbs out of them anyways, because I don't want the person behind. If there's someone else happens to have a vehicle running, I don't want him to know I'm hitting my brakes till he hits that big old
steel receiving pencil hook.
Yeah, pinnacle hook. That I have a pinnacle hook that sticks out 18 inches from my the receiver.
Oh, that's a radiator remover for the car behind you.
No, that's the timing chain breaker.
Yeah.
Seriously. And so I would love if I can get that truck back. It's it's gasoline. Hey, what? Hey, it's a 318 Dodge engine, which doesn't take much modification to run on alcohol.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the whole thing of being able to have
they put a 318 small block in a big 1-ton truck.
Oh yeah, with the transmissions it had in it. Oh, all right. So it had your transfer case, which had a 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high,
4-wheel.
No, 4-wheel 4-wheel high. No,
2 high, 4 high, 2 low.
No,
4 low.
No, it had 4 low, 2 high.
Okay.
So if you put it in 4-wheel drive, you had 2-wheel 2-wheel low and 4-wheel low on it.
Yeah,
my dad
had to get out and lock your hubs to get the 4-wheel low.
Yeah, my dad had the part number for a 3-speed Brownie that he and the guy I bought it from, George Duke, were going to put in it, and all that information is in the glove box of it.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Gary saved it. Gary's one of those guys that would save that information. And then it had the 4-speed 4-speed with a granny. In low, it would redline at 1.5 miles an hour.
Hey.
Dang.
But they hadn't put that 3-speed in it. But still, with the low and low, you were redlining at 10 miles an hour. They used it to. It was an old East Bay Mud. That's East Bay Municipal Utility District truck that had a Warren brand hubs on it and a Warren PTO driven winch on it, and they pulled out a stuck D6 dozer that was trying to clear one of the lines. They took it up in there, drove it back in, got to a point where they were okay. We're not going any farther. Put the front bumpers up against between 2 trees and ran the cable out and pulled the dozer out.
Dang, that's a
yeah. That's one of those ones. That's like if it happened today, there'd be 3 guys standing around. Okay, go ahead and engage it. We're gonna video it. But yeah, I mean that truck was and that truck the wiring on it you had your points and condenser in your distributor. You had a voltage regulator.
Yeah.
And your starter with the solenoid on it and ignition switch. I think that's all the electronics on it.
Yeah. I know Dodge back in the early to, well, actually I'd say probably about mid 70s to late 70s. they produced a military variant of their civilian Dodge Power Wagon.
Yeah.
This is called I think it was a M880 or something like that, or
and Jeep did the same thing.
Yeah.
Jeeps was in the early 60s.
Yeah, and then Chevrolet replaced all the old Dodges and old Jeeps, Jeep Gladiators, with the Cuck V, the CUCV series. The M1008, M1009, M1028s, which were, like I said, all the Chevrolet civilian equivalent. Like 1-ton pickups, and like Blazers. But part of me does wonder how resistant something like that would be to, electrical surges.
The M880.
Yeah, M880.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
And actually, let me go back here because I saw something else.
I know there was a Gladiator, a Jeep Gladiator, that this was prior to the M880, made by Kaiser. This is back when Jeep was owned by Kaiser Corporation.
And I totally agree that culture together. So we need
I used to drive our military weapons carrier. That's what they called it. Around our camp, you could put it in 4-low and hit low. Yeah, you could literally dump the clutch, get out, and walk faster. Yeah. And it would literally just pull the entire cabin with it. It didn't care.
Yeah. The other Dodge was there's a not sure what the year, but this is the M37 here.
Yeah.
Came out. I think those came out. I want to say those came out post World War II.
Yeah, that looks exactly like what we used to drive. Stuff 3 people in there, had a pickup bed. And we could drag this ginormous trailer full of nothing but cabin platforms up the mountain.
All right, so this was through the after World War II through the 50s into the 60s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I said, sometime after that, that's when the Kaiser Jeep came out with their Jeep Gladiator that replaced that, and then Dodge came out with the M880 to the M880 was supposed to replace that Kaiser Jeep, but they had too many issues with the M880. Had unreliability issues, mechanical problems, and then
I miss it. I'm looking at this. I'm falling in love with this thing, like the interior.
That's literally what I was driving at my camp. I'm looking at it going, yep, that's it. Stick shift went into the freaking dashboard. It was the weirdest thing. Yep.
Now, I'm going to throw something else out here at you guys. Sorry to change gears on you because we're getting ready to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
If you have land,
like
Mark does, like if I had 3 times the amount of land I have here, so if I had 15 acres.
Oh, yeah, me.
I would be investing in some horses.
No. Yes, no.
I would be investing in horses for several things. One, I'd be investing in some quarter horses for riding and working. I'd also invest in a couple of
Clydesdales
or Perchons.
Yep. For pulling
or draft horse.
For draft horse. And I make sure I have 1 male, 1 female to start with.
Just keep them separate because they'll kill each other.
No, you find at the right time, you bring them together and
right. You got to keep them separate.
You get baby horsies.
Baby horsies. Yeah. And then when something like this happens, it's like, okay, I got power. I can go salvage stuff. I got, and
I got horse.
Yeah. Presuming you don't have bands of raiders or looters. Like I said, I don't like so this is the Mad Max subject, man. Yeah. It's just because it gets kind of convoluted at like I said, people really go off on stupid fantasy territory.
Well, here's the thing.
Assuming you don't. Oh, sorry.
If after the first winter, 90% of the population is gone. Out where I'm at, out where you're at, if 90% of the people are gone, who's coming out there to raid?
The government.
Or
no, the government's going to be staying local wherever they're at, trying to consolidate for the next 50. Anything surviving is going to be there.
Exactly. You didn't die during the first wave. They're going to make sure you die during their second wave.
But the thing is, so where I'm at here, if 90% of the people die around here, generally for the area, most of that's just going to be up in the vast majority is going to be up in Idaho Falls, down in Pocatello.
Yeah, my point being, anybody who survives, they are going to be one hard motherfucker. Sorry, the curse. But they're going to be. It's going to be. They're either going to be the best person to ally with, or they're going to be your worst nightmare that you have to contend with. Like I said, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and the thing is, they may not be hard. They just may be lucky.
Yeah.
They're running on luck.
Lucky and well armed.
Yeah. And like I said, my issue too is, like I said, that in a lot of these books, like that I've read, they like I said, they're killing the horses, they're killing the livestock, and they're eating it. Like they're thinking short term. They're just thinking, I need to get food in my belly now. And it's like you just killed an animal that pretty much just essentially replaced the tractor that's now useless. That $100,000 tractor or combine that's sitting out in the field that's now useless.
Yeah. Ferocious, you are kind of right. Korean War, Nam area, it was from the the late 40s, the 49, 48, 49, going into the 50s, through the Korean War up into the 60s, Vietnam War in the 60s, before they started replacing them out in the late 60s, early 70s for that. But yeah, that's one of the things that, without power, it's for 99.9% of the survivors, they're not going to have, they aren't, I don't really want to put it, for 98% of the survivors, they're not going to see power again.
Yeah.
That other 2%, if they have power, they're smart enough to hide it and only using it for essential emergency type stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, I'm trying to think of the movie. So, all right, let me go to, I can go draw an analogy here. The Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
The scientist guy who creates gunpowder, he's up there and he has stuff that nobody else knows about. You're going to be like that. You're going to have power that nobody knows about, but you're going to be in the, in the biblical age of everybody else doing stuff. And so that's going to be the way that they're going to be working is they're going to be, they have power. They're not showing it and they're keeping it for, all right, we found this old truck. We need to do some work on it. We're not making the truck. We're going to have horses draw it, or we're going to turn it into a steam engine.
As dumb as this may sound.
Wait a minute. We need to weld.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to sneak out the wires, make sure nobody's around, do a little welding on it, and do that type of stuff. It's
as
not
dumb as
going to
this
be.
may sound, I think somebody, and I'm not even talking about the government sector. I'm saying private sector, and this would be more or less somebody who's got a lot of disposable money.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet you somebody might even already have a operating room, like a hospital operating room, private hospital.
I know there are. I know where some
in a
are.
Faraday cage, in a giant Faraday cage.
Yeah.
With all the life support and everything that anybody could ever need to keep somebody alive, if it's critical, this person needs to stay alive.
Yeah. There are several of the build silos which have been bought, some by groups, others by rich people.
There's one out there in Kansas, like an old Minuteman.
And people don't know what's in it because it's privately owned, and They ain't getting permits for what they're doing in there.
Yeah.
They ain't going to let the county in there. They ain't going to let nobody in there. And so it's going to be one of those things where, there may be some rich people that have full electricity. And so long as they keep their heads down for years until they can develop a steam engine, and the steam engine is producing power. Not electrical power. It's producing steam power. We're going to open up a steam-powered machine shop. What does that sound like? That sounds like the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
And once the Industrial Revolution, where we can power lathes, we can power mills, we can power drill presses,
sawmills, textiles.
Yeah, that's when things kicked off. And so however long it takes for that to happen is before we actually really recover. That could be 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
It might be quicker if you have some rich person or a rich group of people thinking ahead of time and planning.
Yeah, I'm willing.
Just because they're rich doesn't mean they're smart.
Yeah. Well,
no, they probably hired smart people.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't discount them because you don't become rich just for being a complete idiot in life.
Yeah.
Well, you can be an idiot as long as you hire the right people, but you're still an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, at what end, like I said, when you go to bring all this stuff back online, at what end? Because like it's when we're talking like everybody's dead or died off, at what end? So now I know Steve jokes about it, but you at that point in time you are essentially the Lord of the Wasteland, and it's like I said, there's nothing to, and not that I say, and I'm not saying from you need to have something to rule over, you need to have somebody. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just saying, like, at what end, like everything's gone. Everybody talks about, especially like with an EMP, it's like they're talking
Barter town.
Plus the deal, spin the wheel.
Yeah. But like I said, they're talking about, like I said, for an EMP, the experts are saying, it'd take anywhere from 2 to possibly 5 years to restore power. Yeah, but if everybody, if according to what the government says, 90% of the population or more, what is the point of bringing the grid back on? At least back to the full extent that it was.
And here's the thing: at the end of the first winter, you're not going to have most of the people to bring the power back online. Yeah,
they're going to be busy
trying to survive. Yeah, it's not going to be until they have food and stuff comfortably. All right, guys, who used to work for the power company? All right. Who did this? Who was that? All right, we're going to go together and we're going to start trying to build a small generator.
Yeah. That's the problem.
So we're going
to. That's the point where I'm trying to get at, because, like I said, when everybody's gone, there's
and things once like you said, everybody's gone, but everybody's not gone. Once you have some sort of a fortress city, that would be really fortress, just a protected city type thing to hold off bandits and stuff, and you start growing, you're going to get people coming in that have skills that survived. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm a leather worker, I know how to do this, and now your little community is going to start growing, and the more it grows, the more it's going to attract out of nowhere other survivors that want to help, not hinder.
Yeah.
And then you need to create your own fiat currency and taxation system to keep it run. Sorry, I get.
Yeah. And so once stuff like that goes, it starts building up. And you start building up, you're doing good. Yeah. Now, talking about your fiat tax currency, you don't have to worry about that. If it happens when the end of the first year, most of the banks are still that have coins in them and stuff like that aren't going to be broken into, because everybody's looking for food, not trying to figure out how to break into a vault that they don't have tools to break into.
Yeah.
Here you are. You've created stuff. All right, now you've salvaged, acetylene torches and stuff, and now you can go collect gold, silver, coinage, and if you just collect coinage, not the paper bills, just coins.
Yeah.
It's not gold coins, but it's coins. It's worth something. It's a way to track money. I'll give you 20 quarters for 2 dozen eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we're getting like really deep into
yeah.
Yeah.
We are. But thing is, so you need to figure on short term, short, intermediate or moderate, intermediate, terms for survival. Now, most people don't want to think about the long term survival. About a long term power outage of being, power's going to be out for permanent, or power's going to be out for 5 years or 10 years. Of course, by then, people are going to be, we're doing fine without power. We don't need to worry about bringing it back. Some people are going to be that way. Others are going to be, all right, there are certain things we need to do. But if you can survive with some sort of power source for your home, and you're smart enough to keep that hidden, you're going to be better off all along the line. Especially if you have somebody that needs a CPAP, somebody that needs, whatever. And even if you're just, you have the batteries and stuff, and you have things for power, but you're not using it, and except when you absolutely need to use it, you're going to advance quicker afterward. Sorry, froze, and be able to get stuff back together and enlarge your group and stuff.
My chat just keeps jumping. She is in jail.
I just want to be able to watch heavy
metal. Yeah. Omega Man, there it is.
There's something to his girlfriend that all these smart guys haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, that's where we're going to go back to water power, and then we'll go to steam power. And if you have water power and you've all these vehicles around with alternators and generators on them, you might find parts to start making electricity sooner than you think.
I just want to go back to free energy, ether, out of the atmosphere. Everybody gets free stuff and we're happy. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Tesla was working on something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he got shut down.
He had a car that had a little antenna on it and one little tiny battery. Never had to recharge it. It just drove it everywhere.
Yeah.
But
so, anyways, I hope everybody's still watching here, and everyone's been watching for the whole thing, and get something out of it. And it makes you think. Right? That's the whole thing, is just to make you think of possibilities and do some research on your own. There are ways of doing things. And like I say, old-fashioned 12-volt generators are actually can be a motor too. And if you can find the generators from the older cars before they had alternators,
Volkswagen, Beetles, yes, 6-volt.
Harley Davidson motorcycles have generators and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's, you can, there are ways to bring back power, small scale, and you may want to keep it small and secret till someone else starts coming up with power too. And if you get in your, like here, that's the thing. I've always thought in small neighborhood forts.
Yeah.
Here where I'm at, my city is a neighborhood fort. It's a 1/4 mile square. There are 4 roads coming into it, and that's it.
How much logging and how many trees would it take to build a giant palisade around your little square city?
It wouldn't be. We would do a moat.
Oh, okay.
Because we got irrigation ditches, and we just change it, dig, because it's like trees are not prominent here. You got to go someplace. You could find a bunch of trees over by the.
But it takes energy, river. And it would take a vehicle, which more than likely won't be operational.
Yeah, it would take a lot of people pulling it on an old trailer. The old trailers and stuff to do it.
Long story short, it wouldn't be worth the energy invested trying to do it.
No,
burn too many calories too much food to personally drag them over. Yep.
Yeah. And so let's see if I can find it here.
See, I thought about a person could theoretically, because like a lot of utility companies, they've got old utility poles.
Those are the trees over there.
Yep.
There's some trees over there, and that's about halfway to the Snake River. There's my trees. Those trees are all gone now. They're all on the ground, and that's my 34 firewood.
Yep.
There's some pine trees here.
Is that your container?
Yeah, these are my containers. Yeah, that's the house my daughter's in. That's the house I'm in. And so but looking out, it's you're looking out here and it's like, okay, there are not that many big trees around. No. But a lot of the trees are cottonwoods, and when they're young, they grow quick. But on the other side here, let's see how close I can get to it. Okay, so this little bush right here, you see that brown strip over here?
Yeah.
That's the other side of the irrigation canal. The green strip on here is on this side of the irrigation canal. That thing's about 25 feet across. Yeah. So we open up the gates, and that's one barrier on that side that nobody's coming across.
Until it freezes over during the wintertime.
Yeah, see there it is right there. No, they drain it. November 15th, they turn the water off and it drains.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you can walk across it.
Yeah, you climb and you climb up the other side. But so the irrigation ditch here comes across here. Up here, there's the irrigation ditch there.
Yep.
And so there's irrigation ditches. Let me go ahead and put it straight.
The first time I'd seen a town with a bunch of those irrigation canals, like the little mini irrigation canals, irrigation ditches, was one that was over there in Bear River City, Utah.
Yeah. So there's the Snake River.
Yep.
There's an island in the Snake River. And we got irrigation ditches here. We got an irrigation ditch coming down this road here. You can't hardly see it. There's irrigation ditches over here. But see, this here is the town. If we block the road off here, we block the road off here, and we block the road off here and here, we're isolated. But if we go out here and we block the road off here, and then we block it, and then we incorporate more of the farms, since that's our blocking roads here, we can start enlarging the area of food production. And because this is the main highway, this is the old Yellowstone Highway. It's one lane each way. And we can start adding, bringing people into it. And then, of course, we got the city of Firth over here, which is about the same size as we are. And then the next city, Kimball's is 4 houses. The next city is Shelley, and it's probably 10 times the size as we are. And let me put this back to the right proper way. There we go. So there's Shelley there, and then you got up here. Then you got Idaho Falls and Ammon. That was where most of our trouble would come from. Would be Idaho Falls, or head back down here. Blackfoot is the county seat. It's not as well off as it could be. But then from Blackfoot, you come down here past the Fort Hall Indian Reservation Casino, and now you come down here to Chubbuck and Pocatello. But you see down here, they got all sorts of agricultural down here as well. And so some of this agricultural raises sugar beets, alfalfa, and potatoes. They rotate stock. Then rotate the crops. Now, some of them, let me get back up here. I'm not sure where the others are at up here. Blackfoot. Okay, here we go. So this property here, all this property is on lines here.
Yeah.
That is owned by the Chapmans, and this property here is owned by the Chapmans. April Chapman is like an adopted mother to my daughter, and we've bought cattle. They raise cattle somewhere, not here. They have land elsewhere they raise cattle on. But you see, their property is surrounded by irrigation ditch as well.
Hey, I'm gonna bail here. It's like 11:30.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of the longest running things you've done in a long time. 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I was going back and checking some of my other lives. Some of my other lives were I found some that were 4 and 5 hours long. When I had Dustin from White Family Farm up, and I'm trying to remember who a couple of the other guys. Oh, CR was up there for part of it, and some others. But that, like I said, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm dead for moving all that wood around today, and I'm like just sitting here going like, any minute now, I'm just gonna fall asleep on the screen. All
right, so we're gonna wrap it up, folks. Those that are still in here, what's coming up on Monday is your favorite salsa. We're gonna talk about different types of salsa for canning, what needs to be canned, what doesn't. Tuesday, back here for Tuesday, Tactical Tuesday. The topic is first aid kit customizing your first aid kit for your family. Thursday's the Midnight Ride. Friday is planting your garden. And next Saturday here is this next Saturday is one that was requested by a bunch of people, and I'm sure I cringe at it. It's after Skynet activates. What are your plans? Basically talking about artificial intelligence and how it screws everything up. So next Saturday is going to be a artificial intelligence nightmare. So thank you for coming up, Doris and Mark,
thank you for having me on.
Hey, bud.
Everybody else that's been in here. Everyone is still in here. Ferocious, Truth by V, Tammy Harder, Butch Graves, and
whoever's left.
Angels Homestead. Looks like Angels Homestead is still here. So thank you guys for sticking around. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please email me, and I'll add it to the schedule. And remember, everybody, learn a new old-fashioned skill every month. Whether it's whatever it is, learn a new old-fashioned skill every month. Because no matter what, if whatever the event is, it could lead us to having to rely on old-fashioned skills.
Learn how to dig a hole. Literally, start there.
Well, I was thinking, learn how to raise chickens and rabbits.
Yeah, well, if you can't dig a hole, you can't get rid of your old chickens and rabbits, and so learn how to use a shovel and work up from there.
Yeah. All right, everyone. See you around.
Thanks for having me on there.
Sure thing.